going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about here on a Monday night edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here live on Facebook, Instagram Live, LinkedIn Live, Twitter. We do have breaking news today. Of course, if you guys didn't get a chance to catch it on the Facebook post, according to Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports, Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs expected to start the season on the PUP list. So we will definitely talk with Leo Haggerty at 9 o'clock about those developments. We'll get your thoughts. Bucs fans, how does it affect this team? How does it affect the record, in your opinion, as the phone lines will be open tonight? We will have Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, on with us. And of course, we will have Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast. But how do we start off this show? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them. So here it is. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. So we'll get out to the comments, as also the Rays are playing the Chicago White Sox. I guess they're not doing very well right now. We'll update that score, because we got Mr. White Sox fan himself, Mr. Harry the Greek. So what do you think of those developments? We'll also talk about some comments from Baker Mayfield about the Washington Commanders. The Bucs Inc. Benjamin Morrison, their second-round pick, so that's officially done. And, of course, training camp starts officially on Wednesday. So are you ready, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans? You better be. You better be, because it's right around the corner, only 7 weeks away until the season starts. I said 7 weeks away until the season starts.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Only 7 weeks away, by the way. And in case you missed this show, we did predict that they would wear those white throwbacks with the orange creamsicle against the Seattle Seahawks, and now that is official, my friends. October 5th, not only are they going to open up versus the New York Jets, but also go on the road on October 5th versus the Seattle Seahawks, a late game there, a 50th season game, if you will. So, without further ado, enough with the intros. Really quick, though, I got to shout out Up the Block Barbershop, of course. I'm looking good right now. Anytime you need a haircut, anytime you need a fade, anytime you need a beard trim, 4946 Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. Go Up the Block Barbershop there in Holiday, Florida. Tell them Peter Blake, the Rolex reporter, sent you, and go see my favorite barber right there, Mr. Ricky. So without further ado, let's go out to our co-host here. Here we go. Let's go out to the Greek himself, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here on the Monday night, my friend. How you doing?
What's up, Peter? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, buddy. You got to bring some more energy here. Come on, Harry. I'm pumped up. You should be pumped up, too. It's a Monday night here on the Evolution.
I'm pumped up. The White Sox are kicking the shit out of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh,
I'm sitting here. I'm disappointed.
What's the score right now, by the way?
3-0, but Chicago, Mr. Burke himself he gave away I'm sorry, he started the inning off with a walk.
Okay.
With no outs. So Tampa's got a runner on first. I mean, it's
and by the way, all the Rays fans right now just trying to jump off the Skyway Bridge, fire Kevin Cash. Guys, this is the ebbs and flows of baseball, okay?
Oh, stop, please.
They're
stop,
not
stop,
going
stop.
to
They're 4 games over 500.
Oh, my God.
I'm the idiot that turned around in front of everybody else and told everybody in the beginning. You remember the last part of May?
Yes.
I was like, don't get excited unless you see this team play another month of baseball like this. And right around the 28th or the 27th of the month of June, after they were on that huge winning streak, I was like, you know what? Jump on the wagon. The team's for real. I'm the idiot when I'm the one who told you and the rest of the webheads out here they're just not that good. Sorry, Ray Kennedy. Sorry, everybody that's out there.
I'm
They're
not ready to
just
say that.
not that. No, they're not, Pete. They're
I'm
not.
I'm
If
not
you
ready.
watch this is the worst team in the American League.
It
Okay,
happens. It's happened this year.
Peter, stop.
This team
This
has
team's not.
done this.
This team's up. It's down. It's
It's
up.
up
It's
and
down.
down, but it still has
It's not
talent.
consistent. It's not
It's
Detroit.
ebbs and flows of
It's not
baseball
Detroit.
season.
It's not the Dodgers.
Detroit,
It's not the Mets.
the Dodgers.
This,
It's a long season. Everybody just needs
I understand
to
that.
calm down.
That's why the Detroit Tigers have 60 wins in the seasons, because the ebbs and flows. Stop, Pete.
And by the way,
this team is exactly who I said they were going to be. They're a 500 baseball team, and it's unfortunate. I'm upset about it.
They may need to make some moves.
Is that enough passion for you, Pete?
It is enough passion for me, but also that team that you continue to say is not necessarily ready for this is the team that took 2 out of 3 with the Tigers earlier on in the season. So again, every team is going to go through those ebbs and flows. Every team is going to lose. Let's not lose our mind. But
I've already lost my mind. You can forget the playoffs. If I'm telling you, man, this team don't even make the playoffs.
I will bet you a steak dinner that they do.
Forget it. The Greek don't do steak dinners anymore.
Well, what do we do?
It's all about greenbacks with me, brother.
Greenbacks. All right. Well, let's do some greenbacks then. I'm ready to bet. You ready to bet?
Just text me the dollar amount that you want. It's not ever publicized because I don't do that. But I will bet you anything, and I'll give you. You ready? 2-1 on your money.
You better give me 2-1 on my money, because this Rays team is going to make the playoffs. They will make the playoffs. They will make some moves at the deadline, especially if new ownership is involved. And once again, are they a perfect team? Not by any means, but they have lots of talent, and they have been known to do.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, bro. I'm absolutely great. It's Monday. We're here. We're talking about some unfortunate news. I don't think it's necessarily surprising. Without further ado, though, I want to go out to my other co-host here. Here we go.
What do you hear?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah. Let's go out to Louie.
What's up, Louie?
Frozen Pirate Podcast right there, Mr. Producer. Can you go ahead and fix that shot for me really quick on that third shot? Let's fix that. How you doing?
Hey, living the dream, buddy.
Yeah, all right, good stuff there. Well, that's not it right there. That is definitely not it. So go ahead.
Oh,
there we go.
There
there we go. Well, it needs to be a little bit. Okay, all right. So we'll go with that right there. But the big news of the day was right here. Godwin and Wirfs to start on the PUP list, according to Leo Haggerty of Amp Sports. We heard some rumors. Let's not kid ourselves here. There is a reason why the Bucs drafted Emeka Egbuka in the first place. We heard this on draft night, that there's certainly a possibility of the reason why they drafted the young man, and also drafted Tez Johnson in the 7th round, because you're covering yourself. Godwin had a horrific injury, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be 100% right away. It may take him 3 or 4 games, but you're able to do that because of the talent that you have on this team with the Mike Evans, of course, the Jalen McMillan, Egbuka, Tez Johnson, some other players, Sterling Shepard. So we're not really surprised by that. And then Tristan Wirfs is disappointing. It comes off of last year, but it just happens that way. So, gentlemen, let's start out right there. Harry, your thoughts on this report from our own Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to miss Godwin as much as they're going to miss Tristan Wirfs. Let's just be clear on it. This team's not going to miss a beat. Emeka Egbuka, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Emeka Egbuka, yeah, we got it.
Emeka. How about wide receiver 3? We'll say that. WR3.
Maybe.
He's not going to be an impact, as we were talking about it from before. It's going to take a while for that man to get into his shoes. Multiple reasons, guys, and everybody understands why. New offensive coordinator. He's a rookie in the National Football League. He wasn't the best wide receiver in this draft. He's going to be very serviceable, but I don't think they're going to have to lean on him because Godwin's not going to be there. That's just an opinion. I think the stable of receivers that they had from this past season would have been sufficient going into this year. Now, adding Emeka, I honestly think it's going to Emeka. All right, well, whatever. Please correct me 100 times today. I've had one of those days. But having Emeka, I mean, he's going to be another fill-in piece. He's not going to be that big of an impact player in the beginning part of the year. hate me, but that's the way it generally is. And I think people that are out there that watch the game really understand that. But missing your left tackle, buddy, I'm going to tell you right now, you better get a big dose of running the football. That's all
Well,
I'm going to say. You better get a big dose of running the football, because if they do and they have success, which they will, because Tampa has a really good running team, it'll set up the play action pass, and you're not really going to miss Godwin as much. However, with that being said, if this team finds themselves down quite often, and then you have to pass, then it could spell problems, especially for the left side of that line. But if I had to have one injury, I'd rather have it be Godwin than a Tristan Wirfs, unfortunately. 0 would be perfect, but
right.
let's just call it what it is.
Well, let's call it what it is here. Louie, come back to the 3 shot there for me, if you would. Go ahead. All right. I don't. Okay, there we go. Let me ask.
Hey, Louie.
Yeah,
How's it going?
Louie never even talked to me. Boy, you got that mic really modulated up high. That sounds good, though.
Thank you. You want to bring it down low?
Yeah, no. I'm talking. You're really over. I wouldn't say it's over modulated. It's really sounding good, but it's kind of thunderous.
Sounds good, man. That sounds good.
Oh,
All right.
you,
So what are your thoughts on this situation that was reported by Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports, my friend? Welcome to the Evolution.
We kind of already knew going in when the Buccaneers drafted the first overall pick, Emeka Egbuka. We knew there was a problem, and we knew that Godwin wasn't going to be ready. I don't think he's going to be ready for a little bit. I think he's going to miss the month of September. You can't rush an injury like that. One,
no, not that kind of injury. You're right.
No. And 2, I think they're going to be fine. These guys that they produce at Ohio State, they're pro ready. Emeka Egbuka, I mean, I'm looking at his statistics from, last year wasn't the greatest of years, but I mean, in 50 games, he's had 205 receptions, 2,868 receiving yards, 24 touchdowns. Mike talks about him highly. And obviously, Mike says every year, hey, this is the best receiver room. But, they're saying that he runs like Godwin. This kid runs like a running back. He catches the ball and he runs like a running back. So that's good to hear. And McMillan really came on at the end of the season with 8 touchdowns. I think Randy Moss is the only other rookie wide receiver to do that. So that's promising. My biggest concern is Tristan Wirfs, because he is the best player on that Buccaneers offense. And having Baker's back, his blind side, if you will, that's going to be a tough task for whoever steps up in there. But I think the Buccaneers are going to be fine. They have to rely on the running game. And a lot of people don't understand is a lot of people are counting out a guy in Cade Otton who's playing for a rookie, who's playing for a contract right now. And I know that may not be a popular thing, but listen, Cade Otton has stepped up when he needed to step up. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch the tape from last year. He made some great catches. And he really stepped up, especially that whole tight end room. Culp, Payne Durham, nobody's really talking too much about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end room. And I'm excited because now the preseason's here, and I keep telling everybody, you want to find out what this team's all about. You want to find out about the depth. You have to watch the preseason. Don't criticize it. You got to watch the preseason. And another guy that, we're not talking defense, but I mean, to answer your question, it's a 50-50 problem. But I will say the Buccaneers, the most important game on the schedule for the first 4 weeks, that if Tristan does miss, the Buccaneers have to win week 1 against Atlanta. That's a must-win game.
Yeah, and that's a team that is going to be, absolutely, Louie. It's going to be, very important at this point. There you go. Thank you very much. You got this. I don't know why I'm doing it. You do this. Yeah, no, you do that 3 shot. That 3 shot looks good. You're the producer, my friend. You run this right now. I'll leave it up to you. I'll stop doing it. I'll stop controlling it. I'll just control the comments. At this point, we'll get out to the comments in just a moment. You're exactly right. I mean, they've got James Pierce. They also got the kid Walker from the Georgia Bulldogs. So that's going to be a challenge in itself, but you must win that game after getting swept. You got a tough matchup on Monday Night Football versus the Houston Texans. As we all know, the Jets, offensively, you're not sure with Justin Fields, but, defensively, they're going to be a tough matchup. And then, of course, you got the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, who lately Todd Bowles has had their number. But it's different when you're missing Tristan Wirfs and you're missing Chris Godwin. Going back to Egbuka and McMillan, for me, because Ibuka is so versatile. Do you play him on the outside and do you play McMillan in the slot? And the reason why I say that is because it seems like he was comfortable in that slot last year. And furthermore, Godwin is definitely a big time important to this offense, especially when it comes to third down. So I definitely think you're going to miss him. There's going to be some because he's Mr. Third Down at the end of the day. So these guys have to step up, and McMillan and Buka. Of course, you've got Mike Evans, Sterling Shepard. We'll see. And Tez Johnson, there's unknowns there. Both of those guys are unknown, and we're expected to have Tampa Bay Ray on in just a little bit. You're going to have to be patient because we'll get you on. I know you want to talk some baseball and talk about the latest developments with the Bucs. In fact, we'll get Harry out of here about 9 o'clock. We'll have Tampa Bay Ray on, along with Leo and Louie himself, as the cat is making an appearance right there.
Oh, my God.
Well, there you go.
I guess it's cleaning and grooming time.
Well, there you go. Right
Please.
there.
God, that hurts.
I can't love. And by the way, Alexander knocked me down today. I was taking him for a walk. He took me for a walk.
My hair's dirty.
Well, there you go. Maybe you go to Up the Block Barbershop. If you need a haircut, a beard trim, 4946 Holiday, Florida, Moog Road right there. You don't have to go far. You have to go.
What kind of cat is that, Harry?
He's cool. He's one of my 5. This is Inky right here.
Inky?
Inky. Ooh, I like that. Is that cool. Where'd you get the name?
I don't know, honestly. I got Inky and Turbo, they're brothers. Then I got Zipper. I got 4 boys and 1 girl. And the girl's a little tiny thing. Guess who rules the roost?
The tiny one.
The girl does. She just kicks everybody's ass out there. Why don't you make it a 4-shot? Bring in Tampa Bay Ray. I'd love to give a few seconds with
All
them.
right, let's give.
I want to check out them guns anyway.
Let's go out to Tampa Bay Ray. We'll get out to the webheads in just a moment. Here we go.
He's gonna have to tighten up that shop a little bit.
All right, so let's go out to him right there.
Oh, and by the way, just give everybody a little insight real quick. Tampa had runners on first and second. They couldn't get anybody up. They got out of the inning. They're down 3-0, and Chicago's got a runner on first. Of course, Andrew Benintendi's up, and no outs.
Well, there you go.
And all I'm hearing the guys on the radio as I'm finishing up mowing my backyard there. This is a futures player for the White Sox. This is a futures guy for the White Sox. Those are the guys who had the home run.
They're
big
playing
hit there.
a AAA team.
But these guys, they're saying that they're the cornerstone of the team of the future. But
yes, they are.
The team right now.
Well, their best players haven't been called up yet. Here, let me help you out just for a second. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I got you. Let
me ask you a question. I know we're doing this on the fly, but why are we so small? What's going on, Pete?
I don't know. Go ahead, Louie. Fix that for me if you would. The smallness.
The 4 shots. The problem with the 4 shots is
there you go. Bingo. Much better.
What it is that's what it was. It's my fault. I put that.
You can bring a comment just like here. Watch this. Bingo. And there it is, and it comes out.
Yeah, it comes out. There you go. All right. So we'll keep on playing with it here on StreamYard.
What's good, Louie?
And yeah, I mean.
I didn't do that.
What's up, Ray?
The Rays are down 3-0 early here from the Steins, so why wouldn't you be tuning into the Sports Web here on a Monday night in Tampa Bay? Nothing much, brothers. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Everybody losing their mind here. Again, this Rays team has played, teams under 500 not very well. They played down to their competition. So to me, that's
why they won't make the playoffs.
But
this is the reason why.
But
I told everybody, and I'm an idiot. I said in the beginning of the year, this is a 500 baseball team. And I said in early June, man, this team's got a shot, man. Oh, my God, it's got a shot. But you know what? Don't jump on that bandwagon yet. Talk to me at the end of the month. And they just rolled through June like the best team in baseball. And I'm like, get on board. The moment I said this team has sucked since.
Well, listen.
Hey, Harry, the reason why, not to cut you guys off, but the reason why I asked about the cat, I'll show you a cat that I used to live with. So that's me.
That's huge, kitty.
That's a huge cat.
That's a huge kitty. He looks like
that's a tiger.
he looks like my bandit.
There you go.
A Bengal cat.
Yeah, he is. I got a cat very similar to him. His name is Bandit.
You do. That's right. Bandit. All right. I tell you what.
What a good-looking cat, man.
Let's go out to the comments here. Let's go out to Tim. What's up?
Made it a cat show now.
Yeah. I see. I got it. A tribal troll in the house. You are.
Acknowledge me.
And we'll go to this. Because I already know you're going to troll us with nonsense, so that's what
That's
you
all right.
do. Tim says laugh out loud. Willie Graham says hello to you. Let's go out
What's up,
to
Willie?
Ed Kirby right there, Master Peter and friends. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Willie Graham, Tampa.
Wait up, little boy.
Yeah.
Wait up.
Tampa. And Bay
Oh,
right there.
God.
Love that. Love that. Fire the Rays. Yes, Eric, fire everybody. Fire the manager. Get rid of all the players. You're about as a great of a fan
Easy.
as anybody. I really,
Easy.
Easy.
honestly.
Hey,
just,
I got one for you. Okay, let's just switch gears real quick. I just want to know who wants to join the MAGA movement. Okay, that's all I want. Let's make America Greek again.
there you go. All right, let's go Bucs.
We're gonna make that on a
Wait
hat.
up, little boy.
Let's
Wait
go.
up.
Let's go Bucs.
Tell
Let's
me
go
that.
Bucs.
Tell me that wouldn't sell, would it, Louie? Wouldn't it, Louie?
Shut up.
I'd buy one.
It's Eric.
Got it.
says-
Hey, Harry. Do you have
What's
it in
up?
black on black?
Oh,
You know what?
Yeah, there
I
you
think
go.
That would be. I think that would.
no red on black.
That,
Sure,
that would
let's
be
do
tight,
that.
wouldn't it?
Let's get
Yeah.
the S show with the Rays. Okay. Eric says Godwin still hopefully will be ready for week 1.
Impossible.
Everything that I've heard about this, and I've heard a lot,
Unfortunately.
it's not looking good. Not looking good to be ready for week 1. Sorry, Eric. I know you're Mr. Optimistic on this show, but I'm giving you the reality of the situation.
Christopher Cole. What's
Yes.
up, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Let me get through the
Yes.
comments, guys, and then we'll get out and we can talk and whatever else. Let's get the trades coming from the Rays. Willie says, great move on Godwin, a la the glove. 3-0 Sox. Kirby, all nonsense will have 200% tariff applied. Very
MAGA,
good.
baby. MAGA.
Leo,
Make America Greek again.
Yes, sir. I see.
Leo's
Raise
thoughts,
my sponsor.
Leo's thoughts were spot on draft night, saying that the draft pick screams Godwin won't be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Bring that up again.
Yeah.
Louis was on that. He made that point right off the bat when we drafted Ibuka back there in April.
Leo made that point because
Leo, I mean, not Louis.
Yes,
He's not
that's
going to be ready. We all knew that. That was a horrific injury that he
Yeah.
suffered.
It
Tough.
was
It
the
wasn't
same
easy.
injury. It was the same leg too that he suffered
Yeah.
at ACL, right?
Yes.
yeah. All right.
Just by the way, for all your Rays fans, this is interesting. No outs, bases loaded.
For the Rays.
No, for the White Sox.
Well, thanks for that, Harry. Let me
Okay.
know when we got when we get the third out.
By the way, the guy that's batting right now, they just picked him up, and they brought him up from Double-A.
Okay. It
Just
happens.
throwing out there,
Where else are you going to get this live Chicago White
Everybody
Sox?
has lost their mind.
buddy.
on
This
the
Chicago
right
team
now.
sucks. Okay.
They do suck, but it's one game. Everybody freaking relax on the show. Jesus.
Yes. And if they lose today, they're only 3 over 500.
Okay. And they got an opportunity to take the next 2 and they take the series just like they did against Baltimore. LFG, Bucks, baby.
Wait up, little boy.
Yeah.
Wait up.
Yes.
How about them Bucks,
Thank
baby?
you.
Oh,
Let's
I
go
swear to
David
God, when I
here.
see you, Pete.
Listen, this is what I do. This is what we do. Every time they say LFG or Go Bucks, that's what we do here on this show. I'm sorry if it offends you. I'm sorry if it's too loud. You know what they say? If it's too loud, you're too old. It looks like
I'm too old.
about Hogan.
I'm too old.
Sun Devil Dave right there.
Why?
Why is it
Why-
here
why-
at the game? Why aren't you at the game?
I'd rather shoot heroin in my eyes than go watch
Stop
this White
it.
Sox team.
Harry, you love
How about
this.
fentanyl?
Today I turned on the
Nah,
NFL
it's too
Network
strong.
this afternoon because I didn't want to be out in the sun between 11 and 2 because it's the strongest part of the day. A little reminder for all our Floridian friends out there or people down here visiting and having a great time. And it was the first episode of when the Bears from 2 years ago when the Bears were on Hard Knocks and Caleb and the draft and stuff like that. And it's weird because I have no desire, guys. Peter, I'm sure Louie, you guys agree, no desire to ever go back and look at the Buccaneers from 2018, was it? Where Baker
Yeah.
in the tree and trying to find who was Jameis trying to find deep? Joel Jackson, Deshaun. They didn't have one hookup in the entire show. It was 2018, right, Pete?
That was against Carolina overseas.
Well, no, the one
No, it
with
was the
Bucks on
training
Hard
camp.
Knocks.
Yeah, that was that was
was
earlier than that. That was like
2017.
2000.
Oh, there goes a
2017.
couple of runs.
2000.
You got
Cutter
no
was the
left
head
fielder.
coach.
All right. So who just scored? Is it
Chris
the White
Godwin
Sox?
took it.
Well, it was a
yeah.
Five 5-0
It
Sox.
was a bad boy for the White
By
Sox.
the way,
hit.
I would just love to just bring up one comment, because the idiot award goes to Alex Nunster. Harry's talking shit because his White Sox, but they're like 30 games under 500. You're correct. I am, because I think it's hilarious. Okay?
It's okay. Again, everybody stop losing. It's one
Sounded
game.
like me
I'm
earlier
losing
this
my
morning.
mind because I told everybody to jump on the bandwagon with the Rays, and this is the result you're getting.
You got one game.
I'm an
one
idiot.
game.
Thank
guys.
God.
You're not an idiot. Stop saying you're an idiot.
My team could be 160-0 or 0-160 last game of the year. If we knock somebody out of the playoffs, if we knock somebody out, I'm going to own it. So the White Sox have a lead after a sweep in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. Own it a little. That's baseball, though. You're right, Peter. It is one game.
I
It is
wonder
one
how banged up we were last time we played the Falcons. I think every team is banged up, but Tristan Wirfs was dealing with the injury last year. Chris Godwin,
Antoine Winfield Jr.
Antoine Winfield Jr., Elijah Cansey. I mean, these are the players that have to stay healthy. Even interviewing Antoine Winfield Jr. a couple months ago, he said at the Expo, "I've got to stay healthy." What do you do to get better? Clear message. I got to stay healthy in order to get better and be the best safety in the league. Good evening, gentlemen, says Christopher O'Reilly. Appreciate that. Coach Todd doesn't lose week 1. Christopher O'Reilly again. Harry bringing the nonsense. Christopher Cole, it's too early to put them on the PUP list, but they will eventually. That's what the report is out there. Willie Graham is laughing. Eric, right, Eric. I mean, no, they're not making the playoffs. I know they're not making the playoffs. Mr. Negative, Mr. Pessimistic. Unbelievable. Must be joking. I'm not joking. I'm going to laugh my ass off when the Rays do make the playoffs. I'm going to come on here. And you guys are going to tell me how right I was. You're going to.
I know, Peter. You'd love it, too. And I'm going to make it a whole show segment for you for about 1 hour.
Love it.
I'm going to feed you a whole bunch of shit soup right through
That's
the
right. Fill it.
right through the.
That's
okay.
it. That's
Listen,
it.
Peter. You know what I find very interesting, though.
What's
Seriously,
that?
and it's not Rays. It's actually football. We can circle back to that. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be fine this year. The question is, and I really started digging into a little bit of this.
Dig it.
It's Atlanta. Let me tell you something. They got really unfortunate to go. If you remember correctly, Tampa wasn't playing that good of football, and it was like the perfect storm with what happened with Atlanta. And Kirk Cousins, boy, I mean, my hat is off to him. I watched this Netflix series on about 3 quarterbacks, and I'll tell you what, I didn't realize how much pain this guy was playing through with the leg and the back and the shoulder and the pec, and it was just unbelievable what this guy had to endure and go through.
And Harry, not just that, but
he played longer than what he should have. They almost did a Baker Mayfield on him in Cleveland. I mean, I hate to use the comparison, but it kind of reminded me of that, didn't it? Right?
But it made you respect Raheem Morris for making a call early on when he realized that the faculties weren't all there. And Kurt says that on that show, right?
5 games, though, Ray.
But Harry, no, you're right, though, because
5 games they kept him in there. The guy couldn't throw the football 25 yards. He looked like, what's his name from New Orleans that I predicted couldn't throw the ball to the left.
Derek
Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr. And I told everybody when everybody wanted Derek Carr, I was like, don't be in a hurry to get this quarterback. He's got something wrong with his shoulder.
Yes.
Did I not, Pete and Ray? You remember?
Yes, you did.
And that was before he went
I
to
mentioned
New Orleans.
that as well.
Louie.
Everybody was clamoring for Derek Carr. I'm like, first of all, you're going to go broke paying this guy,
Pete,
number one. Number two, and he's not worth it. He's not worth it. Let him go try somewhere else.
No, he was injured. A healthy Derek Carr could have taken this team very far, if not the Super Bowl.
Well,
the problem was Derek Carr was beat up, and there's something wrong with that shoulder, and it's bad.
Well, listen, I wasn't the only one who took Derek Carr because John Gruden actually took Derek Carr over Tom Brady. So John Gruden deserves a gift pack from the Sports Web because he did deliver another Super Bowl to the Bucs because basically that deal was brokered. So I wasn't the only one that thought Derek Carr at the time could be the quarterback. But yes, I will admit that I did want Carr. But when Baker Mayfield came in here, I also said that Baker Mayfield would have career numbers, which he did the first couple years.
Well, that was after we got him, and you got to watch him play because that's not the tune that you were talking about. And 2/3 of the webheads out there didn't want. Did not want Baker Mayfield. Oh, yes, it is.
You could go back to it, and I can go ahead and edit it up. I was open.
Please do.
Baker Mayfield. I will. Because Baker Mayfield, I was open.
He was not your choice. He
was
wasn't
not.
the choice of many people.
Gary,
and I said,
I
be
didn't say
careful.
he
The
was
guy's
the
great.
choice. Again, I said that Derek Carr was the choice at the time for me, but when they signed Baker Mayfield, I was completely open to it because
you got into him once they signed him, just like anybody else.
Well, no, but Harry. The point here is that going into that season, the Buccaneers were still, by every national media outlet possible, the Caleb Williams favorites. They were going to go 2-15. They were going to be the worst team in football because Baker was going to wash out of the league. And when he came in, it wasn't so much that we were like thinking, oh, here's a failed experiment. We already knew we had a team. We had a gun that was like literally loaded, but the safety was still on. And now we just keep losing offensive coordinators every year. So let's just hope Grizzard can get that safety off this year.
Ray, unfortunately, I can't agree with that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because all the pundits had this team not winning but 3 to 4 to maybe even 5 games. They gave this team in Tampa Bay zero respect.
Yeah.
They didn't care if they had 2 of the better wide receivers in football. It didn't make a difference. This team was washed up, and they were supposed to be, keyword, rebuilding. Well, they rebuilt every year into the playoffs.
By the national media, not by us. The sports
the national media. The national media did.
All right.
We were all very optimistic.
Let's see here. Shay says, I'm looking for a Bucs black jersey. We'll get out to you in a moment, Louie. I want to read the rest of these comments. 4 weeks, says Willie Graham.
That was for Louie, by the way.
I can send you, Mike, if you really want, I can send you one. It's
the black jersey workup. You have it, Louie?
I can get you one off eBay if you like.
Sorry.
No. Go ahead. You just continue with this black jersey stuff. I'm just trying to read the comments at this point. So
what's a black jersey?
No, Harry.
I caught some heat last week because I mentioned the black jersey.
There's no heat. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen.
I just said if the Buccaneers wanted to like evolve a little bit, I said because all the teams in the league, they're doing like, the rivalry stuff. Like the Patriots are doing and AFC East rivals, and I believe it's the NFC West. They're doing NFC West rivals. They're gonna basically come up with concepts for jerseys. I think they're gonna unveil them this year. And then I start seeing like other teams doing different things. Like the Bengals, they did a complete 360 with their whiteout jerseys, which I think are amazing with the white.
That's pretty cool. So you think they would look good in a black?
So I said I would like to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on primetime. To unveil like a black jersey with like some pewter numbers and then pewter pants with like a black striping. Like I
don't know about pewter numbers, but we were saying, and then Harry, Peter and I countered with, if you go back to almost Riddell Anthony, it feels like the Bucs in the late 90s, 2000s that
Florida.
Well, there was remember, even though it was a Reebok contract, there was like a black jersey that emphasized the bright orange, but that was like at Walmart.
That would be pretty cool, Peter, don't you?
I don't know. We'll see.
Peter, I'm sorry. Go back.
I'm just saying everybody loves the creamsicle jerseys, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I like the creamsicle jerseys. It's cool, but they've won 3 seasons with them.
You're right there, Louie. By the way, Louie, did you see that the Bucs took your idea from the other night, and that they've announced now that the game against the Seahawks is going to be both teams going back to their 76 uniforms?
That wasn't my idea. That's just tradition. You're talking about 2 of the teams that entered that league at 1976.
Well, we talked about this on the show last week. You said that it should be that, and then of course
it should have been that game.
Because it is now. They've announced that the teams will wear the original uniforms they wore in '76, even though the Seahawks were in the NFC East and we were in the AFC West.
Yeah, that was figure that one. But I couldn't figure that out, and I didn't understand. I'm like, wow, the NFL really dropped the ball on that. You have both teams who can finally wear both throwbacks that came in the league at the same time, and we're going to wear them against the Jets. Oh, I think we should wear them against the Seahawks. But now we have 2 games with the white creamsicles. Hopefully, they can win some games here. Hopefully.
Let's do a playoff game. Go ahead, Peter. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You guys just continue.
Sorry, Peter.
All right. No, that's okay. You guys continue to do your thing.
This is a round table thing, right, Pete?
Oh, no. They're doing it.
Round restriction.
It's not round restriction. I'm just trying to read the comments at this point. Can I go ahead and read the comments? All right.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll just behave.
All right. It's going to take a collective effort to make it work in the absence of Wirfs and Godwin. Agree with that. Let me go out to Sitton. My Bucs will be 13-4. Let me go out to Willie. I'm in the building September 7th. Cool stuff, Willie. Thanks a lot for the comment.
Oh, yeah.
Your Minos do an episode of Around the Horn. Kirby says, whip out your cat, Peter. No, that's not happening. Thank you very much. No cat here. Show us the files. No, we're not doing that. 2-2, says Kirby right there. Okay, we read that.
Show the list.
Show guys. Come on. No. We're not doing that. Let's not do that. Great show. Thank you very. We're not talking politics on this damn show. We're not doing lists. We're not doing anything like that. We're not doing any nonsensical garbage like that. We're going to keep it strictly sports, and that's it. That's how we do Sports Web. Sorry. Yep. Sorry. That's how it goes.
What happened to Ray?
I guess Ray disappeared.
He's loading.
There you go.
No, he's loading up. We'll leave him right there. I like him when he's loading.
Wow. All right.
Great. You see it?
Great. Let's get him out of here because he's not in there anymore. Let's go out to the 3-shot. Let's see here. Abraham says depth is a key to the Bucs success. Raheem and Sean did the same thing to the Bucs this year. And Alex, I wonder why. Eric says Godwin Wirfs not on the PUP yet, but again, Eric Moreno, please let me go ahead and put this out there because people are not listening to what I'm saying.
What?
According to Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports, they are supposed to start out on the PUP list. They are not on the PUP list. They are expected to start on the PUP list. Please listen. Listening and reading is fundamental. Now you pissed me off. Baker will be a great pickup. The Bears, Willie Graham, Mike in the glove was there. Sun Devil Dave, now we just need a all-pewter game, right, Louie? And David says, are the Buccaneers the only team in the NFC South not to have a black jersey? They don't have a black jersey. It hasn't happened yet. I don't think it's going to happen. It's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
It's going to happen. With that being said, if we could just stop.
We'll make a concept.
Make a concept, Louie, please. Make a concept. Post it on Facebook. I will share it everywhere around social media, and we will get what everybody thinks about a black jersey on prime time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I promise you. Cool. Absolutely. We'll look absolutely.
You think they'll send me one for free? If I put up the concept, you think they'll send me one for free?
Maybe. Let's try it.
Louie, I'll actually buy you one, buddy.
All right.
I would. I even would have your name across the back of it. That's what I would do.
I like that. See, I like that. I appreciate that, Harry.
I'm not buying one for Peter. No.
I don't want a black jersey. It's hard enough to wear a black shirt out there when you're covering the team and you're trying to set up 30, 35 minutes.
I wear long sleeve. I wear like a long sleeve shirt when I go to work. I'm out in the sun.
Congratulations. It's totally different. And Florida heat in August, September, and October, especially when you're trying to set up the show. Florida heat is definitely different from the northern heat. There's humidity there. So it's tough enough. It's tough enough.
But I have a question since you went down that rabbit hole. How come all the people that I see working on roofs and construction workers that are down here, like today it was 95 degrees. Ray, right across the street, they're putting a roof on you, the house next door. Yeah. And all the people that are up on the roof, they're wearing black shirts with hoodies, and they're sitting on the roof all day.
You don't get sunburnt. You don't get sunburnt.
That's why. That's what it is. And some of the guys wear them hats with the things like flipping down.
It's really, honestly, it's really not that bad. Like I said, I've worn like long sleeve shirts with the hood, and I put my hard hat right over that, and I'm fine.
They wear the hoodie though, because it also makes it harder for ICE to see who they are from the street as they drive by. So, I mean,
gonna put this out there. The Bucs don't even wear their red jerseys half the time.
I didn't hear you, Pete. You broke up. What was that? I
said the Bucs usually don't even wear their red jerseys half the time. They wear their white jerseys. So I doubt that they're gonna have some type of concept there of having a black jersey on prime time.
You guys are still on this black jersey? Stop.
It would really be pretty cool. I'd love to hear from the webheads out there if they would like to see the Bucs in black jerseys.
Because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about jerseys instead of stuff that's going on at this.
Hey, I got a special guest that's going to be joining me on the Frozen Pirate podcast. We're going to be actually talking about some jersey stuff. Jerseys? Yeah, because we were talking about how when they unveiled the new ones, the new white ones, how they don't make them stitched anymore. Nike, the price keeps going up higher and higher, but the quality keeps getting lower and lower.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty bad.
Used to get the nameplate, the stitching, that was all part of the deal. Now it's all, it feels like it's all done with a 3D printer. So,
at that point, I'm just going to get the material, Ray, and just do it myself.
I'll tell you what, Leo, Louie, that's a great idea.
I might as well just do it myself.
All right, let's go ahead and switch gears here. Let's talk about BetMGM, this Yahoo article on the Bucs. According to Yahoo's Ben Fox, he says there's nothing particularly flashy about the Bucs, who were favored in 12 games this season, including their final 6. Drafting Emeka Egbuka in round 1 should help complement the future Hall of Famer Mike Evans, and tight end Cade Otton emerged as a legit target last season, in part due to injuries. The pass rush isn't anything to write home about, but the good news for Tampa is that it finds itself playing again this year in the NFC South. Tampa Bay is favored in all 6 divisional games, and it is clear minus 110. This goes out to you, Harry. Favorite to win the division at BetMGM. The Bucs also benefit from likely playing only 2 cold weather games all season, but star Tristan Wirfs may miss the start of the season along with Chris Godwin. Put it out there. So your thoughts on, once again, the odds, minus 110, pretty good odds there, Harry the Greek, on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during the season in 2025. What do you think of these comments? Minus 110.
It's not horrible. It means they're somewhat the favorite. They're not the favorite, actually, because I think someone to be the favorite in this division is going to be minus 140 or 150. So they probably are assuming that Atlanta is going to be the favorite. I don't like to lay juice, especially on proposition bets, and that's exactly what it is. But minus 110, if you're sick enough, go ahead and do it. But I don't advise it. I understand it's only $10 on 100, but it's to me, I don't lay juice on that at all.
All right. Also,
it's something I would stay away from.
All right, so you're staying away from that, from BetMGM, that favorite right there, 110. Why do you stay?
They're not the favorite because they're minus 110, and for the reasons that I just explained, because you're having to lay the juice. Okay. Last year when I got 4-1 on my money, now that is a wager to win the division. This year they're not giving me 4 or 3 or 2. They're not even giving me even money. I'm having to lay the juice to get the wager. That's why I'm saying it's not a good bet.
All right. This is also Yahoo's fantasy take, because we're going to be talking fantasy football on this show. So, Louie, you can comment. Ray, if you want to comment, or Harry, I know you're not in fantasy football. Buccaneers can't be that worried about Chris Godwin's return from ankle surgery. They gave him a 3-year deal in March, after all, but the team also isn't guaranteeing that Godwin will be ready to play week 1. Of course, the Yahoo draft market has kept Godwin in the top 80, which might be optimistic given the crowding in the passing game. Mike Evans is still there. Emeka Egbuka was drafted in the first round. We'll come out to the phone lines in just a moment. And Jalen McMillan has moments in his rookie season. It's also worth noting that Godwin has not been a dynamic touchdown scorer with Baker Mayfield, spiking a modest 7 times over the last 24 games together, unless the draft price comes down. I'll be avoiding Godwin in August. So with that being said, you avoid Godwin at this point, Louie. If you play fantasy football, I assume you do. So do you avoid Godwin? Do you go for Egbuka, Jalen McMillan, Mike Evans? Is that where you're going with that?
I don't play fantasy football because I don't need any more stress in my life. 1,
right.
2. If I did play fantasy football, I would probably hold off on Godwin. I mean, if he's available, he's available. If not, like if you can get him, I believe in the free agency thing, in the free agency pool. Yeah, I would put him on the bench and something like that, but I would not pick him. I wouldn't waste the draft pick because we don't know. You don't know. I mean, so it could be, hey, he's not playing week 1, to, hey, he's not coming back until early November. You don't know. So you're kind of wasting up a slot there. And depending on how desperate you get throughout the season, like I said, I don't do the fantasy football stuff just because it's just more stress. But if it's me, I wouldn't pick him up. If he's free agent, yeah, why not?
All right, Ray, you play fantasy football by chance. Would you go for Godwin, or you stay away from him and you go with a guy like Egbuka, McMillan, or Evans? Of course, Evans, but what about Egbuka and McMillan? You go for those guys?
Obviously, the Godwin, the choice on him is going to. It becomes more clear as we get closer to camp, and it becomes more and more obvious that physically unable to perform is the way that both either Godwin, Chris, and Tristan Wirfs are going to start the season. But the thing I want to talk, it's weird that a thing came out today where I don't know if it was ESPN or whatever. I was going to ask one of you three that they ranked each team's offensive and defensive teams overall. They put the Bucs at number 12 overall in the league, take into account their offense and their defense as far as to go against. But the Falcons were like 27th. the Carolina Panthers were like, 30th, and of course the Saints are 32nd. And I get it. The NFC South is supposed to be the worst. But Harry, we just went back and watched that quarterback, and there was some shell game going on there. But last year, Atlanta was very much in the thick of it. Penix is a pretty good quarterback. Are they underselling the NFC South in 2025?
Well, I originally said that, the Atlanta Falcons probably were not going to be a contending team here in the South, and I actually elevated the Carolina Panthers, as everybody knows. I can't go back on my comments from what I said before, but I can now because the season hasn't started. I mean, you're not going to call me flipper and just keep flipping around, but I stand to be corrected. Correct. The Atlanta Falcons will be the team that will give Tampa Bay probably its biggest challenge on winning the division, especially with Tristan Wirfs out.
Yeah, and I mean, you said Carolina Panthers would be improved too, so
they are going to be improved.
They are.
New Orleans Saints are.
That's a dangerous team for the Buccaneers on the back end of the season because we're playing them 3 games out of the last 3 weeks.
Twice
of the season, you're playing them twice. Not only that, you fall behind week 1 to Atlanta. That's not good, man. That's why I keep saying week 1 is a must-win game.
And here's the other kicker. The average Tampa Bay fan says, "Oh, that's easy 2 wins."
Yeah.
There's no division game that's easy.
No. Well, maybe the Saints.
Hell, even
maybe the Saints.
Hell, even the Patriots.
You're built to beat your divisional opponents, right?
Oh, yeah. Look back in the day, the Patriots, all those Super Bowl runs. What's the one team they always had an issue with in the division? The worst team. Who? The Miami Dolphins. Couldn't beat the Dolphins for the life of them sometimes. So these divisional games are very difficult. As long as the Buccaneers can take care of business early and win these divisional games, you can afford to lose a close game here and there. But you have to win the divisional game. I think the defense is going to be much more improved this year. I'm not saying a top 10. I think there'll be a top 15 defense. There's a lot of the Bucs, yeah. I think they'll be a top 15.
Honestly, seriously, Louie, you're not giving this team enough credit, especially defensively. I got this team top 7, maybe even 6.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm not kidding.
I say top.
And I'm going to tell you why. And here, you could take this to the bank. I'm Harry the Greek, and I actually approve this message. You don't hear me say that very often.
Well, here it
Do
comes.
you really think that Todd Bowles is going to let this defense be the way it has? The past 2 years, they've been playing with smoke and mirrors, bro, for 2 years in a row. Injury after injury after injury. And do you know who's going to be the biggest impact on this defense to turn it around? Peter, who do you think I'm going to say? Because one person said he was a liability.
Well, I would definitely say the guy that's going to turn it around would be Hassan Reddick from the 1 sack year he had.
Currently on the roster, not a new addition.
Oh,
I know who it is. Yaya Diaby.
Nope. Next,
Savassier Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah,
that is going to be when Savassier Dennis gets it rolling. Oh boy, you keep this kid healthy this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this team is going to be just something special, especially with that front 4 and the pass rush. Let them linebackers start running around and roaming free, buddy. You might have shades from about 3 years ago. That's how good this defense could be this year. I say top 7.
I've said about Savassier even when he was a rookie. I don't know if you guys remember when. Was it Devin White blew a coverage and Savassier had to clean up the play for him? And when I've always been a fan of Savassier. I've seen him on the field.
Someone called him a liability on this team.
I wouldn't say he's a liability.
No, there was one of the web heads. I'm trying to remember. Pete, don't you remember that?
Liability.
Who called who?
It was either a phone call or there was a comment that Savassier Dennis was a liability, and I lost my mind.
What I'm thinking, one of the web heads said is that you don't know because the body of work is not necessarily there. He's been injured, but we talked to Levante David a couple months ago at the expo, and he said, "Boss, that's the guy." And this linebacking room, they got enough talent. Now, is that Levante David talking about his guys? Absolutely, but we've seen the flashes of brilliance from Dennis when
they're a more physical defense when he's on the field. He's a
but the key is
Todd Bowles won't let this team. He's not going to let this team go 3 years in a row with that defense the way it's been. Trust me, they are fixing this defense. And believe me when I tell you, it's going to be refreshing to watch because the defense is going to help them win a lot of football games. And they better be running the football a lot more.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
I want to go about
Defense wins championships, and running the football gets you to the championship. So, especially in those cold weather games.
Nice picture there on the YouTube there, Abraham. That guy right there on the right is pretty good looking. Bucs built their roster with guys.
Who is that clown?
I don't know. He's a freaking clown all the time. Late round picks, fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, even some free agents. If you do a good job, you set yourself up to win a Super Bowl, which is what Jason Light has been able to do the last couple years there with getting guys like, Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan. And, we haven't even talked about this kid that they drafted in the second round last year. We continue to forget about him from Alabama. I'm trying to think of what his name is at this point.
Webster.
No, the second round pick.
No, I know.
Yeah, and I can't think of his name right now. I don't know why. It's Chris.
The middle linebacker.
No, it's not a linebacker. He's an edge rusher.
Oh.
From Alabama.
It's not going to get me there.
Okay.
That the Buccaneers drafted?
Yes, the Buccaneers.
Come on, Louie.
Second
last
round
year.
From Alabama.
But he's a hybrid linebacker. Slashing, he's more of a stand-up than a put his,
You mean Chris Braswell?
Yes,
Braswell.
Chris Braswell. Goodness gracious, I'm getting old at this point. Yeah.
You are.
You're there, brother.
I'm already there.
I'm younger than you, so be quiet.
Oh, yeah, you are. But hold on, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you just got to see this, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. See what.
Take a look at that beard. Okay, take a look at that beard. Just
over
take a look at that beard. Hold on. And right here, guys, you don't even see that much gray in my hair.
That's all right. I'm able to rock that. That's what I do.
But I'll tell you that you take that beard off, and I'm with Peter. I'm with Pete out anywhere on the town, and they're carding me because that kid looks like he's 17 without the beard. So it gives him that grizzled Tampa Bay sports guy look.
Braswell right there. Thank you very much, Tampa Bay Ray. All right, best case scenario according to Yahoo Sports, the Buccaneers have an edge. Over the Eagles, Lions, Rams, 49ers, and other NFC contenders don't have. Tampa Bay plays in the worst division in the conference. But the Falcons, who haven't been won since 2017, are just average again. The Buccaneers could win the division by a few games, and if the other divisions beat themselves up, it's not outrageous to believe the Bucs could backdoor their way into the number one seed. Backdoor their way into the number one seed. Baker Mayfield has a route to being a top 10 quarterback, but that's his level now. The offense should be one of the NFL's best as long as left tackle Tristan Wirfs returns and is healthy. That's a big if right now. Tampa Bay's defense wasn't terrible last season. It can creep up just a bit at the big improvement down the stretch. You said it, Harry, top 5, top 6. That would definitely put them over the top, and the Buccaneers will be dangerous. The nightmare scenario is this. Every year we underrate the loss of good coordinators. While it seems like the transition from Liam Cohen to Josh Grizzard should be seamless, Cohen was one of the NFL's best coordinators last season, and Grizzard has never run an offense before. Maybe the downgrade will be a big problem. Also, Mike Evans won't be racking up a 1,000-yard season forever. Chris Godwin's coming off a serious ankle injury, and Emeka Egbuka is an unproven rookie. Perhaps the Bucs offense won't be as good as it looks on paper, especially if elite left tackle Tristan Wirfs never gets right, and the defense is far from elite. Tampa Bay lost 7 regular season games and went one and done in the playoffs. Perhaps it's just a bad division merchant. It's not like the Falcons don't feel good about their chances of improving and passing the buck.
Who wrote that?
It's Yahoo, man. This is Yahoo Sports. Their best case scenario, nightmare scenario.
Well, Yahoo's AI put a bunch of fancy stuff up there about how they can do this and they may do that, and it's going to be hard because it's our third offensive coordinator in 3 years. Although if that means the Lions, who lost both their OCs, they're probably going to not lose. They don't have a chance in the North. But they didn't. They actually said that because we play in a shitty division, we may luck ourselves into the number 1 overall. They said we may luck ourselves into the number 1 overall seed. We play against the Lions. We play against – look at the Murderers Row schedule we have in 2025. If we're the number 1 seed, we didn't luck our way into it. We're in a bad division, but let's cool our jets a little bit here.
All right, and I want to read this comment. How can you wear a beard in the Florida swamp weather? Well, let me go full screen. Will you go up the block barbershop, 49, 40, 60, keep the beard all trimmed up there on Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Go and see
Mike, honestly, he wears that beard like that because we live close to a place called Alligator Alcatraz. And the mosquitoes are this big, and
F you, and F you. Peace
Well,
out.
we gotta protect our skin. That's what it's all
Listen,
about.
no,
And if you don't know what alligator Alcatraz is, just come into the
No.
country illegal and you'll find out.
no. Duval, says Mike D. Roche.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. We need that. We need that. So what's the most likely scenario at this point, in your opinion, round table here? The best case scenario or the nightmare scenario where Grizzard isn't everything as advertised? This offense does take a step back. Baker Mayfield did have a career year last year, so you would expect him to not throw as many touchdowns. The defense not as good. Or is the best case scenario where this team does backdoor the number 1 seed there and could be the top team in the
Backdoor.
That's what they said. That's their words. I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I
Go
don't really
ahead.
buy into Yahoo and Bleacher Report. It's just amateur hour. I'm sorry. Like,
Okay.
they're just writing stories to write stories just to get people to read it and get people like us all wounded up. Look, the Buccaneers are going to be very resilient this year. The team is very, they have a lot of depth everywhere. The worst case scenario is Baker getting hurt, but we've never seen what Kyle Trask can do. And this offense, like I said, there's a lot of good pieces for this offense.
Boy.
You know,
You're
Go,
gonna
Louie.
Peter.
I kind of
Louie,
no,
don't
I-
do it. You
no, hold
said-
on, hear me out. Like,
said the
we've
K
never
word.
seen him. No, we've never seen him play. So, but I mean, worst case
Oh
scenario.
my God, Lord have mercy for he does.
No,
not
hold
know
on.
what
Let
he
me
does
finish.
right
Let me
now.
finish.
Keep going. Let him finish, Harry.
Oh no.
We've never seen him play. But again, is that something that I want to see? No, I
Get
don't.
ready for blast off.
Here's the thing. He's the thing is
5,
with Baker.
4,
Baker scares
3,
me. Hold on. Baker
2,
scares me, especially
1.
now because the scrambling. He's one hit away from missing a few games. He's been
yes,
very
he is.
lucky. He's been very lucky.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess
It's like-
I guess I didn't ask about Yahoo Sports if we care about how they write it. I asked what's the most likely scenario here, Louie? Do you think it's the nightmare one or is it the best case scenario?
The most likely scenario.
Yep.
I don't know, Peter. I have to see this team play a preseason game. I have to
Okay.
see them in training camp. I have to. It's so early. It's too early. We haven't seen anything. It's been underwear football. I gotta
Hey,
see.
Tampa Bay got
Oh.
him on the board. The White Sox couldn't field the ball on the outside. It's 6-2 now. 2
Six-
outs,
Kyle-
runner on second. So
Kyle
wanted to tell
Trask
you
with the
this.
sacrifice bunt.
There
Thank
you
God
go.
Kyle Trask's name's not in there right now. Peter,
Yes,
If
I
you
know you
gotta-
got to get out of here. Give me the
no,
most.
it's not just that. Seriously, right now you can get Tampa Bay plus 800 to win the game. They're only 4 runs down. The Chicago White Sox have the worst bullpen in all of
What
baseball.
inning? What inning?
If you have some extra scratch, bet Tampa Bay to go ahead and come back and win the game because that's what it's all about. Make your bets low and your returns high. $100 is going to probably get you back
Hey,
about $600 to $800. $50
Yes.
gets you half. $25 gets you a quarter. Go ahead and run a few shekels up on them. I'm not endorsing it, but these are the type of wagers that I like to make, especially when home teams have a chance of actually winning.
What inning, Harry? Is it
It's the 4th inning.
the 4th inning? It's
Yeah.
it's a 3-run game.
It's a 4th inning.
4-run game.
It's a 4-run game. All right, Harry, before you leave here, what's the most likely scenario from this Yahoo article? Best case or nightmare scenario? It's an early prediction, guys. I'm not going to, you're not going to
I don't
the
like these early
gallows.
predictions.
I like
can't-
the early
I
prediction.
don't. You
Okay.
can't tell what's
Have
going to
an
happen.
early-
That was AI written.
You're not going to the gallows if you're wrong. I just want to know what your opinion is. What's the most likely scenario? Harry,
Hang on,
best case or nightmare?
I'm
He's
getting
rubbing
my
his crystal ball.
Rub the crystal ball right there. I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
Hey, no crystal
Say
ball for
Kyle.
you.
Say Kyle.
Oh God,
Say
Ray.
Kyle.
Your infatuation with Kyle Trask.
I see a quarterback. He's tall.
Number
He's
2.
white.
Number 2.
He's number 2.
Not
Wait a
one,
His name
two.
It's Tim Couch. Ouch.
Tim Couch. You know what,
Wow.
Peter? I really don't know what to think about it, honestly. And I do like some early predictions. I'm with you on that, buddy. But honestly, I don't know what to think about that, and especially from Yahoo Sports, which I don't think I've ever read an article from them, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
Is that fair enough? I mean,
No,
is
it's absolutely fair. That's a response. All right, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. We appreciate the time here on the Evolution. All right.
I want to give a good shout out to my boy Louie down below me. I would love to see them black uniforms. And Pete, keep sporting that beard because you're rocking it hardcore.
Did
Tampa
Louie blow
Bay Ray,
you?
let the arms and the guns go just like these, buddy. When you get 59, you could be banging them just like me. We'll talk to you later. Y'all have a great evening.
All right, Terry the Greek.
Thank you, Harry.
We'll come back to the 3 shot here. We'll have Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member.
Leo, we got a good dinner.
I know. You guys met up there. How was that meeting, by the way? Talk about that a little bit.
It went good, man. Me and Leo had a good time. We took him out to a nice place, Cisco's, out in New Bedford, Massachusetts, right on the water. Good seafood, good burgers, good tap beer, everything, man. It was a good spot. And got to go to the camp, got to talk to Seneca for a little bit. My nephew killed it. He did awesome at the camp. Next year, we're going to be staying there full time. And I talked to Leo about being a counselor over there. I'd like to volunteer my services to those kids and try to help out as much as I can.
All right. Let me go out to Trevor here. He says, F Yahoo Sports.
Thank you, Trevor.
People say that. It's okay. Again, it's an early prediction. I'll throw it out there to Bucs fans, and I know what the answer is going to be from you guys. Best case scenario, nightmare scenario from this article. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Excuse me, if I could talk. Mike D. Roche from Canada, 3 OCs, NFC champs. I will go with what the Greek says. The defense will step up, win games, and the offense will be fine, even with the injuries. Bucs have depth. Savasi Dennis staying healthy is the key. He's been my X factor from the very get-go. If he could stay healthy, that is a big if, because Dennis has not been able to do that. But if he can, I think he's everything is advertised. He solidifies that linebacking room. Louie is a closet Pats fan. Come on, stop it now, Mike.
Let me answer that real quickly. I have a lot of knowledge of the New England Patriots because that was my father's favorite team. My father's no longer with us. So yeah, I do know a lot about the Patriots. I still watch the Patriots. Yeah, sometimes, I miss them. You just sometimes, just
I got it. No, I get it. I understand it. I definitely
my son, he has the opportunity. He's more of a Bucs fan. The wife is a Patriots fan. I go to the games, and you know what? So to your point, Mike, I kind of do have a soft spot for the Patriots. I do miss sitting at Gillette Stadium with my father. Yeah, I do. So,
stand by.
There you go.
I think this is Trevor. Is this Trevor from North Carolina?
Yes.
Hey, Trevor, what's going on? Long time no hear, my friend. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast, and of course, Best of the Bay, Mr. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. What's on your mind tonight, boss?
Well, how y'all guys doing? First of all,
doing good. Doing really
Living
good.
the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking Bucs, talking uniforms, talking. I got to put it in there, and also talking about the report today from Leo Haggerty, how it looks like Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin will start off on the PUP list. Again, this is from Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports, and then we also threw out their best case scenario, nightmare scenario from this Yahoo Sports article. So, what do you want to start with first?
Well, first let me start off with the uniforms. I ordered my Mike Evans white creamsicle jersey.
Okay.
So
they won't come in until August, right? They said.
Yeah, mine
it's
ain't
a special order. Yeah,
August 27th. So I still got
that's what they said.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you because this was thrown out by my co-host there, Mr. Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast. Would you like them to do away with the all creamsicle jersey and go with the white and creamsicle jersey, even on the at home, or do you like what they're doing with the creamsicle and the white jersey?
I say for this year, let's just rock the white creamsicle.
Thank you.
I mean, damn. I mean, we're 0-2 with the orange. You know what I mean? So let's change it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we just some ass whipping machines with the white ones. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay to break tradition. It's okay. Let me ask you a question real quickly while we got you here on the sports web. Would you be opposed to a black alternate jersey for primetime games only? We're talking, keeping the same color helmets, Let's do a black alternate jersey, same color pants, maybe black socks or some pewter socks with a black stripe going down the sides, pewter numbers. Would you be opposed to something like that? I mean, you have the New Orleans Saints, the Atlanta Falcons, in Carolina, they have some alternate stuff going on. A lot of the teams in the NFL are kind of evolving into this new era of customizing uniforms. Would you be opposed to seeing the Buccaneers with a primetime all blacked out jersey?
I mean, it wouldn't be it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I think back in the day when once we switched to pewter back in '97, didn't they have a black jersey?
They did. They
put out a concept,
but they never
wore it.
Never wore it because, again, as they put out there, the Bucs, they always usually wear the white jerseys, and fans complain they don't wear the red jerseys enough simply because of the heat. So black jersey, I get it in prime time, but even in prime time at night, it is hot. It's Hades down here in Florida. The heat, the humidity, everything.
Yeah, but Peter, that doesn't make a difference.
It does to them.
No, it doesn't. If you're playing at 8 o'clock at night, if the game starts at 8 o'clock at night,
it's still hot. What's
the difference of wearing a red jersey or a black jersey?
There's
no sun out.
The point is they don't even wear the red jersey at night.
Yes, that's they do. Didn't they wear it against the Ravens?
I mean, they wore it a
prime time,
times, but more than likely they usually wear the white jerseys.
They usually wear probably what about?
I always thought they wear red because it's always a red out.
They do a red out. They did it for maybe the playoff game, but that's what fans
playoffs.
Playoffs. Yes, Ray.
Talking about playoffs.
Hey, little known fact.
Ray. Hold on. Stand by.
I got a fact.
Well, I know you got a fact, but hold on a sec. You're over modulating us too. You listen. The reason why they a lot of fans complain is because they don't wear the red jerseys enough. So they don't wear the red jerseys enough. They're most likely not going to wear a black jersey. Again, though,
they're playing at 1 o'clock though. That's why.
But it's also
I could see why you wouldn't. It makes no sense to wear a black uniform.
Right. It isn't, and they don't really wear red jerseys either for prime time. They would
during 1 o'clock,
Right.
But I'm just saying, like I said, Thursday night, a red out. They do those. Why not black?
They do it sometime. They don't do it all.
You can even reverse concepts, man. Like
you guys need a marriage counselor. Hold on. So
no, I'm just.
We don't have black because all the other teams in the division do.
Right.
So
exactly.
We stand out.
So Trevor bought the number 13, the 1976 orange numbered red outline. He bought the Mike Evans, right?
Yep.
Anybody know who wore number 13 in 1976 for your Buccaneers?
That was. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh, I've already got it for you there, Louie. Larry Robert Lawrence. He was a quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes. What?
Go ahead, Ray.
No, he was a quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes, also played for the Iowa Hawkeyes, so there's an Iowa tie-in. But I just thought, obviously 13, it's funny because Mike Evans at number 13 is one of those numbers that what Mike has done since 2014, it transcends everything. And that would be obviously for me the 76 jersey to go to as far as on the current team. So yeah, good purchase there, Trevor.
All right, good stuff. All right, what else, Trevor's on your mind tonight?
Oh well, let's talk about. I wanted to talk about the two, cornerstone losses that we have so far with Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin. I mean, we kind of anticipated Chris Godwin potentially missing some time early due to him recovering from that injury. But I'll be honest with you, man, I was my heart dropped when they told me that Tristan Wirfs had to get that surgery and he has to, be on the PUP list to start out the season. I think what we have to do offensively is it's going to take a collective group effort.
Yep.
The tight ends, K-Dot, I like what he's doing. Maybe the running backs will have to be more involved in the passing game. And then, when we have formations and we want to run the ball to the left side till Tristan gets back, we're going to have to utilize maybe some 2 tight end sets and just to give whoever we have there at left tackle some much needed help.
Right, Charlie Heck.
I think passing wise, maybe they get Baker to move the pocket a little bit to kind of get away from the left side and some play action.
Certainly possible.
You know what I mean? Just to it's just like I said, between the offensive coordinator, running backs, tight ends, it's going to take a collective group and creativity and us utilizing our talents to be able to, I guess, get through this hopefully short stretch of missing Tristan Wirfs. I'm not too concerned about Chris Godwin. I would like for him to fully heal and be completely ready so he can make an impact later on down the stretch, because that's when we'll really need him. But prepping the season without Tristan Wirfs, that's a tough thing. But I say the only advantage we have in that scenario is at least we know what's going on, so we can strategize like right now versus the third preseason game and he just goes out and then by the way, we got 2 weeks to prepare for the season opener against Atlanta. So between the offensive coordinator and Todd Bowles and just all the position groups, offensive linemen, tight ends, wide receivers,
Tight ends,
they're just going to have to strategize and designs, make some designs based on not really, I guess, how should I say this? Not making that left side such a weak factor of the offense.
Yeah,
because we're going to have to figure out a way to
Cade's blocking.
Well,
blocking has upgraded too a lot. Cade has done a fantastic job at, doing some pass blocking. Also, I think you have Rachaad White too to help out with that left side. They're gonna have to get creative. So,
all right. Well,
absolutely.
Listen, they're going to definitely have to get creative with it, and I think this is where Rachaad White comes in, because if Bucky Irving isn't good enough when it comes to pass protecting, we know that White can do the job. And then furthermore, White is very good on third down. So if you're missing that third down weapon in Chris Godwin, then you can depend on a guy out of the backfield there with a White who's been able to catch out of the backfield and be one of Baker Mayfield's safety valves, if you will. Trevor, anything else?
Can I ask Trevor a question?
Sure, go. Yes, if you don't ask him, if you don't say you're going to ask him a question, just ask the question. Yes, go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, so Trevor, let's go back. The Bucs, we give Chris this contract this offseason, and it was like the Patriots were interested or this team was interested. And as Bucs fans, seeing the body of work that Chris Godwin has put in, we had no doubt teams were interested. But now looking back on it, and now because this rehabilitation is taking longer, we realize it's more of a long play, especially in drafting the wide receiver in the first round. Was it more of a just we take care of our own, let's see how it plays out, or is there still the plan you think all along is for Chris to come back and completely be making a big impact on this Buccaneers offense, and Mbuka or the drafting of the other wide receivers a long play down the road?
I honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the fact that I feel like, okay, we don't know how much longer we're going to have Mike Evans after, that he's on the final year of his contract. And then, Chris, that was a devastating blow when we lost him last year. But I feel like he had so much equity built in the franchise. We were like, I do think there was some like, hey, we take care of our own because Chris has been such a model citizen, great player. So I think that definitely played a factor. But I do think they feel like, hey, Mike at some point is going to pass that torch to Chris, where Chris is just going to, Mike is going to leave the team eventually, and Chris is going to take over and be the, the wide receiver one for the next, I would say next 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I do. Because no one would have batted an eye if we would have said, you know what, Chris got a pretty bad injury. He was in a contract year, so we're gonna clean our hands of Chris and let him test free agency, and we just get younger at that position. No one would have. Everybody would have understood that scenario, and then us drafting where we drafted, right? Especially drafting. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. Emeka
Egbuka.
Yeah.
Let's say it together. Emeka
Emeka
Egbuka. You got this, man. Say it.
Emeka Egbuka.
Also say this for me, Trevor, because you always have great calls. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. 3, 2, 1, go.
bring your passion, bring your, what was the last part?
You got to say it with feeling, my friend. Like you got to say it with your chest. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Go.
Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring your nonsense.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about.
Trevor's a coach. Trevor's a coach. He's a football coach because he knows way too much about the game. Trevor, awesome.
Here on the show.
Coach. Honestly, I coach it.
Well, there you go, my friend. Use that second call if you want to. All right.
Will do.
All right. We see Abraham, Roger calling in. Guys, call back 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Abraham, welcome to the Evolution. Turn your radio down. Thank you. You're on with yours truly, along with Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast.
What do you hear? What do you say?
And of course, Ray Kennedy. All right, let's hear what you got to say, man. Welcome to the Sports Web here on a Monday night.
Hey, what's up, Peter?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, so I like what Trevor said, the thing about tight ends, but we're forgetting about a couple of things that we have already. We have, I know they used to employ the extra offensive lineman like Robert Hainsey on certain, he was used as an extra offensive. I also remember during the Super Bowl run, they used an extra offensive lineman on several games. So you got to be more creative with your offensive line. You can't just let that get you down. Plus, I do have faith in Heck because he's had plenty of starts, and he's coming from a good pedigree. His father was All-Pro tackle and All-American tackle at Notre Dame. So he's I think the offensive line coach for the Chiefs. So I think people are just overreacting to Tristan Wirfs' injury because, they will find a way around it. And the Godwin injury, delay, that's fine. That's what they got Ibuka, and I think he's going to provide he's going to pick up the slack. And I'd rather have a healthy Chris Godwin than one who's going to get injured again if you bring him out too early.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I don't know about overreacting because, listen, Tristan Wirfs, we saw from ESPN, he's ranked the number one offensive tackle in the game, let alone the best left tackle in the game. So I don't think it's overreacting, but can they make adjustments to make it work? Absolutely. We saw, last year, and I think they're two different players, right? But Haggerty was out some games there, and you had School that came in, and Louie went green there. So I don't know what's going on. We'll get you out of there. We'll go to the two shot here. Let's go there, and until he gets up. There he is. All right, so we'll go to that. There we go, right there. We'll go with that shot. You look at School last year and how he performed. I mean, the Bucs made those adjustments. Then again, you had the kid Hutchinson went off against the Lions, but they made the necessary adjustments. And I guess we went green again there, Louie. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe reset. I don't know what it is. We can't have that happening there. So get that stuff taken care of, and we'll have you back on. But
all I gotta say is this is going to help the team when it comes to the home run stretch. Okay, early on we're going to have this setbacks, but then when it comes to home run stretch, we got everybody healthy and ready to go. And you got all these guys who got experience, got their reps. It's going to help when it comes to playoffs. So you need all that, extra guys, extra guns, whatever I forgot, hands on deck to help you out.
Yeah.
So I think just chill out, let everything play. So I know it's a loss, but we got to work around it. That's all. Because that's what championship teams do. They work around these setbacks and they overcome. So that's all I got to say on it.
Good stuff, Abraham. Appreciate anything else, my friend?
Not today, but that's all I got to add.
All right, man. Good stuff. Use that second call if you want to. Okay.
Not a problem. All
right. We got an update here. Tweeted out by the media icon himself, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. This from Mark Topkin. Rays say Hassan Kim left the game with lower back tightness. So there you go. $13 million shortstop once again hurt. That's what it is for the Rays tonight. I still say they make the playoffs. I still say
playoffs.
I will bet money on that. Appreciate Tabitha Lewis out there watching the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Hopefully this is a more exciting show for you at this point, and you could stay awake. Guys, open phone lines if you want to talk anything when it comes to Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Tampa Bay Rays. If you think I'm wrong about the Rays and you're ready to jump off the Skyway Bridge and say they're not going to make the playoffs, feel free to debate me. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Mike DeRoche says 12-5 Bucs NFC champs. Let's go out to David Moser here. You should get a Magic 8 Ball. Ben, great show, fellas. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Ben, again, prime time. We just got to show up a black jersey or not. Agree with that. I mean, black jersey, red
That's what I've
jersey,
been saying for a
white
while.
jersey, creamsicle jersey, green jersey, blue jersey. They got to show up during prime time. They got to do a better job.
Yeah.
What about a
playing
practice
at
jersey?
I don't care what kind of jersey they play. They play like they on prime time. They play like they have practice jerseys on. So they might as well just wear it. Ouch. Was that tough? That was tough. But you know what? If you guys forced me to do it,
great enough to suck right there.
because they have not been good on prime time, and Todd Bowles knows it. And he even talked about his team having killer instinct, and hopefully they show that, especially on prime time. Because listen, if you want the respect from the national media, you got to start showing out. That's the reason why a lot of people are going to disrespect the Bucs any way it goes when it comes to Baker Mayfield and everything else. But it doesn't help when you stink, you suck on prime time. All right. Also, lineup co-keep Elijah Klein on the left side is an extra O lineman. Christopher Cole defense has to be the difference in the first 4 games. They may. And Ben says, love these new Bucs collaboration videos coming out with the old and present players. Definitely getting me pumped up for the season. We saw that once again. Bucs social media killing it as always. Yaya Diaby and Simeon Rice, Mike Allstott and Bucky Irving, Richard Batman Wood, and future Hall of Famer Levante David. Yep, I said it. Future Hall of Famer, and of course future Hall of Famer Mike Evans.
Say it again.
No, I'll say it all day long. Future Hall of Famer Levante David. How does that sound? And we asked Levante David, who's a Hall of Famer. Catch that interview there on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web and friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. All right. Louie, you got to get out of here because I don't want you to stay up too late here. So you want to stay with us for a little bit? How long are you going to be on for? And that face right there tells you everything you need to know. I think the Wi-Fi is acting up. So
he's going to the bathroom, Peter. You're so rude.
He's not going to the bathroom. He was frozen. I think on that note, we're gonna get Louie. We're gonna get you out of here.
There he is.
Yeah, I got to head out. I can't be doing the show too late anymore. I was late for work the other day.
Are you serious?
I stopped work at.
Bro.
Yeah, I stopped work at 6:30, and I woke up at 6:45.
Oh,
I don't know what happened.
Well, I've been there.
We're gonna have to have a little convo off air.
Well, the combo off air is if you got to get off, you got to get off. That's it. You got to get off the air. That's all.
Say Kyle Trask one more time, and I'm about to get off myself.
I'll tell you right now. I'm going to tell you this.
That's great enough to suck right there.
I say Kyle Trask again. All right, Louie, we appreciate you, my friend. We'll see you on Wednesday night. And, of course, promote yourself as always. Tell everybody out there where they can find you and, see your work because you do some great stuff here. Even though we tease you on this show with the black jersey, we'll continue. They ask the question.
It's all right. When the jerseys come about, I'm going to tell everybody I told you so. You guys can catch me on the
Frozen you told me. So I want to see.
Every Thursday, 7:30. Got some special guests.
You're frozen again.
Be fun.
Goodness. Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate it, man. I don't know what happened there. We caught some of it.
Out there. The Wi-Fi is acting crazy. The Wi-Fi.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. All right, we'll get you out of here. We'll promote you.
The Wi-Fi is acting
crazy.
Shut up,
Tampa Bay Ray. Appreciate you, Louie.
Take care, Louie.
Pirate Podcast. All right, my friend. All right, good stuff.
He froze again. Poor Louie.
I know what it is. I know how it feels, man.
Dude, we've done this, Peter. You and I have done this in the middle of hurricanes. We've done this in the middle of thunderstorms. We've done this in everything but snow because we're in Florida. But we've been there, haven't we?
I'm not going to remind everybody when I decided to be a genius and do a show after the Bucs beat Carolina last year at home where it was raining and the laptop sustained water damage.
I hope they know.
And I had to spend $2,000. And they're like, well, there's no limits to it. Yeah, there's no limits to it besides water and Wi-Fi. The 2 W's right there.
All I remember is T.J. Reeves running across the field.
Yes.
He's coming over. You're there live on the west side of Raymond James Stadium, right there at the home team side. And I'm like, and I'm literally right across the street there at the What the Buck tailgate, and we're already taking cover, and you're still live. And I'm like, Peter, what are you doing?
I have no idea what I was doing that day. I was just
slave to the craft, brother.
That's it. Love it. $2,000 slave to the craft. You gotta love that. All right. Ray Kennedy, let's go out to we're expecting Leo Haggerty, but well, there he is. Speak of the devil right there. The legend himself is about to get on. Let's go out to Alex really quick. Alex, what's on your mind tonight besides what I already know? The Rays, are they still losing to the White Sox? Give us the Rays update, my friend.
It is 6-2, but man,
it's just one game. Are we okay here?
We're not going to make the playoffs. Stop it.
Are you going through depression at this? Is every Rays fan right now going through depression? I mean, did you honestly think you were going to win every game from this point?
No, but Peter, I do want to add. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it a million times. And I don't know if Tampa Bay Ray, best of the Bay, Ray Kennedy agrees with me or not. But
by the way, Alex, may I?
Alex, what?
Can I say one thing real quick, by the way?
Go for it, Ray.
Just because you're a friend and Pete's a friend and we got Leo in the back room, he's a friend, but I was nominated 2025 Best of the Bay. Best local columnist that doesn't, best local journalist that doesn't work for Creative Loafing. So we'll get into that later. But yeah, so we all, Best of the Bay. So I appreciate you. Thank you, Peter.
That's why I added that in there for you.
Thank you.
Somebody needs to nominate me here for this show.
I nominated you, Peter, and I was fortunate to be nominated myself. But I am nominated as through the Sports Web, and so yeah, the same Sports Connection. So yeah, But go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Alex. We'll get out to Leo.
I'm not going to be long because I know he's in the background, but yeah, man, Kevin Cash is making some very questionable calls. Yeah, I will say, I don't know, man. Leaving guys in too long, Shane Baz having a rough inning, you let him go back out, you blow another 2-run homer to the White Sox tonight, you still let him blow, and then you pull him. So there's some very questionable calls. I know it's been a very tough stretch. It is. It's been a tough stretch, Peter. I mean, the month of July has been our worst enemy.
Yep.
But to say the Rays aren't going to make the playoffs, it's a little bit out of stretch. But, I mean, I think we're, 2 games out of the wild card spot? What do you guys think? This is my call of the night because I'm busy tonight. What do you guys think the Rays have to do to get over the hump? What do you guys expect to be done at the deadline? Because there's a lot of things, a lot of rumors going around that Yandy may be going up, Brandon Lau may be going up, Taj may be going up. Teams are inquiring on Zach Littell, another big name going up.
Well, Alex, can I flip the question on to you?
Yeah.
Okay. In light of what's going on tonight, in light of what we found out in the last series with our relief with the bullpen. And the fact we thought that the starters were going longer because it's a new thing, but they were carrying a bullpen. I'm asking you, Alex, because it was a great question, but back to you, my friend, my brother, who probably knows the Rays better than Peter and I both together combined. Are the Rays, if the Rays are buyers at the deadline here at the end of July, right now, Alex, should they be looking for someone strong in a middle relief to go in that pen to carry us to the late innings, or are we looking for a bat to make the offense?
I think what's going to happen is that the Rays, if the Rays are sitting at least 2 games back of the wild card spot, we will be buyers. If not, we will sell. The reason why I think we will sell, Lau will be gone. I'm going to get that out there right now. I really predict that Brandon Lau going into his last year of his contract, can't stay healthy. Another year, we're talking about Brandon Lau sitting on the IL. Josh Lowe is another name that I think could be gone. Once again, Josh Lowe putting up terrible numbers. He's already 0 for 3 tonight alone, 2 strikeouts. I think if the Rays are sitting 2 games back from the wild card spot, I think that's enough going into the last 2 months of the season that the Rays will buy, not sell, buy. But if the Rays are too far back in the standings, they will sell, and they will sell for the future. and big names are being called in for next year. If the Rays don't go to the Trop, which I hope that that's not the case, guys like Kyle Tucker want to come here. Kyle Tucker has made it known. I want to come to Tampa Bay, but I do not want to play in the Trop. So, it really depends on the standings. Well, what do the Rays do a week from today? I think the next 2 weeks of baseball, right before the deadline, we're going to know if this Rays team is going to either A, not necessarily miss the playoffs, but if we're 3 games back, I think we'll buy. But if we're at a standpoint like right now, hats off to Harry Greek. Hats off to the Greek. The White Sox are tearing it up tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Alex.
I make jokes with him, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's one game, my friend. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. I'm not in favor of selling, even if you're out of it, because you're never out of it when it comes to baseball, especially this Rays team. Appreciate you, Alex, as always. I hate that whole thought of looking to the future. This team is always about freaking future. Let's go ahead, get players here, and I don't think it's Stu. I don't think it's Stu's decision. I think it is the new ownership's decision. With that being said, and TJ tells me he's at the game right now, so he picked the game. Let's go out to this guy right here.
Book him, Dano.
Let's go out to Mr. Leo Haggerty, who had the big news of the day right there. You've stated to me that you've got some sources that tell you that Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin are going to start out on the PUP list. This is really not surprising. In fact, going back to Godwin on draft night, you text me and said there is something to this. This is the reason why they drafted Buca in the first place. Let's start out there. Welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, it's fun to be on with you guys. And I'll tell you what, before we get to football, when we're talking about the Rays, we got to figure out when the Big M is coming back. The lefty's got to get back on the mound, because all of a sudden you got your number 1 starter back. That's been a big hole right now.
Right.
And you get McCann back in the fold. Now all of a sudden you drop everybody down. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, and that may be your long reliever guy.
Yeah,
that you're talking about.
Wow.
Well, you may have Taj Bradley as a long relief or something along those lines, because he's been so inconsistent, or he may be a part of trade rumors talking about baseball. I want to get back to this report, though. Are you surprised by this at all? And,
no.
and how do you think it affects this Bucs team going forward in 2025?
Well, being on the active PUP list, they can pull them off anytime they want to. But what it does is they can rehab at the facility.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't practice, because that's basically what the physically unable to perform list is. You can't practice. But when you look at what the Bucs have done, okay, I just hope they don't do what Kansas City did and start moving offensive pieces around.
Mm.
Keep everybody where they are and just, boom, fill in that tackle until that happens. If you go 1-3 out of the gate, the one got to be Atlanta.
Yeah.
If they go 3-1 and the one's Atlanta, then it's terrible too.
Mm.
You got to find a way to win the opener, and that's going to be tough.
Definitely going to be tough, because Atlanta's improved, and the Bucs had their difficulty with that offense. Although it's not Kirk Cousins at the controls, it's Michael Penix, of course, and a lot of people are looking to him and seeing flashes of brilliance, but you really don't know what to expect, and he's going into his second year at this point. Did he get enough starts, in your opinion, to be really considered a second-year quarterback, or should I say this, is he still considered a rookie in your eyes?
Oh, no, he got enough.
Okay.
Yeah, he got enough. And again, I go back to when I first started scouting, and Carmen Perone said, your first-round pick, he's got to start unless it's a quarterback. You want that quarterback to marinate. You want him to see the game from the sideline. You want him to take mental reps. And I'll tell you what, look what's going to happen to Cameron Ward down in Tennessee. Levin just got surgery. He's out the season. He's the guy. He's got to start.
Yeah.
Now, he's going to be like the little girl with the curl. He's either going to be real good or real bad, because you just can't you can't show a guy who's a college quarterback who's been in the shotgun, never had to identify the mic. This was the biggest problem coming out of college for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now they got to identify the mic so the center knows which way to slide to protection. And they're going, what's a mic? Because they don't see it. You know, they see that 3-2 or that 4-2, whatever. So it's crazy.
Schematically, Leo, because we talk X's and O's with you, the legend, former coach, scout, and now media member, Night Sports Productions, Amped Up Sports here. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, once again nominated for 2025. Congratulations. Schematically, what do you do if you're Josh Grizzard, if you're Todd Bowles here, if the offensive coaching staff to take the pressure off of Baker Mayfield, knowing you're not going to have Tristan Wirfs on that left side? What do you do? Do you stack up 12 personnel, 13 personnel with more tight ends? Do you run the ball more? Do you move Baker in that pocket? And then furthermore, not having Chris Godwin on third down because he's missed their third down conversion. What do you do there? Coaching-wise, first and foremost, what do you do with Tristan Wirfs missing on that left side? What would you do if you're the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2025?
You know, what's funny, Peter, is, you know, Troy Odegaard tells us about this kid coming out of South Dakota, Grenor or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
He said put him next to Mark, and that would be Baker Mayfield's savior, because we know what the kid from North Dakota State can do, and Troy says that the guy coming out of South Dakota State, a road grader.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm the offensive coordinator, think about what the Eagles did last year. They came down here and got embarrassed. And they figured out that for us to be better, we have to throw less. And I think right now, with Tristan Wirfs out for anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, we don't know.
Right.
Godwin, we don't know. 4 to 8 weeks. I would plan on saying, okay, if I can get these guys back by November,
mm-hmm.
and you know, they've had a couple of games in October to get, but if they're back at 100% in November, because again, you got to get into football shape, and now you're asking a guy to get into football shape during the season.
Right.
That's a tall order for sure. But I'll tell you what, Peter, I'm hoping that they don't decide to start moving pieces. Keep your center, keep your two guards, keep your tackle, fill in for Wirfs. Find a way to fill in for him. Right there. You know, don't go moving people, because look what the Chiefs did. And that's like no way.
Disaster. It didn't work out for him. All right. Let me go out to Ben Parrish here. White definitely is going to have a big year if he's trying to get paid with us or somewhere else. I say keep him in on the left sides, especially in those passing situations, because Bucky, he's got to get better when it comes to pass protection. White has shown that he can do that. That's why he's so valuable to this Bucs team. And then furthermore, he's definitely been a safety valve for Baker Mayfield coming out of the backfield. Is that what you see, Leo?
Absolutely. You know, again, I go back to Dirk Cutter. I said, is running back a misnomer? He said, yeah, you got to be a catching back.
Right.
That's how the NFL has evolved right now.
All right.
Got to be able to catch the football.
Got to be able to catch the football.
White can do that.
Yeah, White can definitely do that. Let CG come back when ready. We need him for the long run. I mean, we kind of mentioned this. The bye week is good for the Bucs because it's later on. It's not early. So talk about that advantage by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When is the bye week, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy? Is it how late is it for this year? Because it's a lot later than it was in previous years, besides the Super Bowl year, and we know how that worked out. So an advantage there by the Bucs having that later bye week to get everybody healthy, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a firm believer. You want to be able to play half your games before the bye week,
right?
So again, if you can get 8 or 9 games in, I think their bye week is week 8. Ray, what do you think?
I believe it is. I'm looking right now. So maybe, Ray, you can help me out with this because it's not showing it where I'm looking the schedule. right now here. Stand by.
Well, you know it's not week 1 through 5 because they're going to
It's
Seattle.
week 9. Week 9, that's their bye week.
Week 9. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
week 9 is their bye week at this point. We're on with Leo Haggerty, the legend himself. Ray, you've been quiet. You got a question for Leo Haggerty or what? Okay, great. Well, I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
Wait a
There you
second.
go. Yeah, go ahead. No, I
Okay,
got.
so you muted me.
Well, I muted because I kept on hearing like it
I'm
sounded
breathing.
like you were like
I'm
you know,
breathing.
like clicking or something. Like it seemed like you were like eating like steak or something. And
No,
you were,
but I wanted to ask Leo because Grizzard, that was like he was the third down. He was the third down caller last year. He was, the big third down, and now it's like third down. You rely on your left tackle, and now Tristan Wirfs may be starting this season on the PUP list. But isn't that because we're dealing with Baker Mayfield? Even if you go 12 personnel heavy left side, you may still run over the right. And guys, remember, most of the time you saw Bucky having his big yards was up the right side. He'd find a way to finagle, find a way out, get up the right sideline and go. Or go heavy right and then run left, because I think the fact that we're dealing with a Chris Godwin and a Tristan Wirfs plays right into the Buccaneer playbook, gives Grizzard a chance to step back and let Baker do what Baker does. And what Baker does is he leads this Buccaneers offense.
And he leads us through play action. That's the big thing.
Mhm.
And if you can't run the football, you don't have play action. So, yeah, they've got to concentrate on the running game. That's got to be huge.
All right, even with all the injuries at this point, Yahoo Sports mentioned this. Could the Buccaneers have the NFL's best offense? According to Pro Football Focus, Tampa Bay ranks 6th as an offensive line in the NFL, and Sharp Football has the Bucs at number 4. Tampa Bay's rushing and passing offense was top 6 in EPA, expected points added, another analytic, and success rate metrics last season. Even with the injuries being talked about at this point, do you still feel like this team could be a top offense, a top 3, top 5 unit with Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin possibly starting on the PUP list at the beginning of the year?
That's a big ask, Peter.
It's a big question, right? It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a big ask because we don't know how long they're going to be out. If they're out just a month and they can come back for that Seattle game out on the West Coast, then, yeah, they got a shot. Because, everybody talks about next man up, but that next man up ain't as good as Tristan Wirfs. That next man up ain't as good as Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
We like to think Ibuka can be that guy.
Right.
But again, it's a question mark.
Well, Leo, the fact that when the Bucs start getting that respect, when they start talking about because you have the best wide receivers in the NFL, especially depending on what Chris Godwin, you've got a pretty good backfield. You've got great tight ends. You've got a great offensive line. But when you get to the top 5 and 10, I'm asking you, Leo, doesn't it also depend on how kick butt that defense is? Because if that defense isn't getting a lead, or if that defense isn't playing shutdown football, it doesn't give your offense a chance to spread their wings as wide as they could.
Ray, you hit the nail on the head. Complementary football. The key is for that Buck offense not to go 3 and out. The key for the Bucs defense is to get off the field.
Mm.
And again, you're not going to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Okay.
But what you want to be able to do is force a team to have to punt eventually. That's the key. If you can get them on the first 3, fine. But if not, 6, 7, 8 plays, and then they got to punt, great. And on offense, you got to get points. You got to find a way to get points.
Right.
And, it can be a field goal. It can be, a touchdown, whatever. But you can't have what we like to call empty possessions.
Mm-hmm.
3 and out, or miss a field goal, or in the red zone, you got to kick a field goal. You can't. When you're down there, you got to get 6.
And Leo, that's where the Grizzard question comes in, right? Because he was great on third down. He called a great pass package, gave Baker audibles out and great, ways to work out of a play. Was it not right? But it's that killer instinct. And that seems that's kind of what we had with, Liam Cohen. And then even going back to Dave Canales, the big question is, does Grizzard have that killer instinct to know exactly on third down and 3 what are you going to do? What's the defense think you're going to do? What are you going to do to make, I mean, that's the biggest thing. And I think that's the biggest myth. So when you're talking about the success this Buccaneers offense has especially early in the year, I'm not so much worried about Tristan, although like Leo said, the next man up's not Tristan Wirfs. I'm more worried about, and I'm not worried. I think it's going to be fine, but I think Rizard's going to be that guy. We have to see that he's got that go for the jugular instinct on third down. And I think most of that's going to be okay because you've got Baker Mayfield at quarterback, and he is exactly that guy to go for that jugular on third or first down.
And I think you can subscribe to the theory of what Leo has said and what kind of Harry has said is that, even with the having Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin healthy, but now not having them, there could definitely be some, learning moments there, some rough spots where they get off to a slow start. That's just the way it is in the National Football League. But who knows? They have the weapons there. They're going to have to step up. It's the next man up mentality. Now, Baker Mayfield had this to say on the Pardon My Take podcast about the particular moment in the game. The Bucs kicked a field goal with 4:41 to go to tie it up at 20 against the Commanders, and then never got the ball back again. Of course, the Commanders went in for the winning field goal. Mayfield was asked if he knew the Commanders wouldn't give the ball back after the field goal and replied, yeah, at that point, you could kind of feel the momentum out of it. We just offensively didn't play good enough, which is what I've said. Like people are, well, it's a defense. No, if you're a top-notch offense and they were a top 3 offense, but you only score 20 points a game, your offense didn't play well, and Mayfield even admits to this. We just offensively didn't play good enough. It was one of those days we were averaging damn near 30 points per game, and we didn't even come close to that. Just too many mistakes. Also, when asked about winning the NFC South 4 years in a row, he says, no, the goal is always Super Bowl or nothing. You check off your boxes on the way to getting to the Super Bowl, division, playoffs, but after that, you don't do anything in the playoffs. It really doesn't matter. So Mayfield, his comments there with the offense not playing well, your thoughts, Leo Haggerty. And then, of course, as always, you can win 4 division championships in a row, but if you don't do anything in the playoffs, it really doesn't matter because you're one and done, right?
Well, as long as you're one and done, it's a home game. That keeps the owner happy.
Right.
Oh, Leo. Bottom line, Leo.
Whoa. Hold on.
You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah. Think about it. The Eagles had 2 home games last year. See the rings they got? That's because Jeffrey Lurie ended up with over $200 million in excess profit.
Oh.
He didn't expect to get. So, yeah, it's a big thing. But you know what, Ray? I think you're on to something with third down. And what the Buccaneers need to watch, and the offensive coordinator needs to watch, 3rd and 3. Are you a run down or a pass down?
Wow.
And that will be charted by other teams. If all of a sudden it's 80-20 pass, look out. And I think they got to keep an eye on it. Remember when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
The biggest thing after week 8 is they self-scouted.
Yes.
They started looking at what they were doing and say, hey, we need to change a couple things here.
Well, the success was last year, and they broke this down. In care of our friends there at Joe Bucks Fan. We appreciate the shout out as always there. Rock Riley, Lee, of course, Steve doing great work there on 620 and 95.3 there on Saturdays. We appreciate you guys.
More than Saturdays. He's in all week this week, but Rock Riley's knocking it out of the park.
Yeah,
go ahead, Pete.
Warren Sharp broke this down where Liam Coleman and his success of this offense was because they passed on 1st and 2nd down. More than the other offenses previous, and that's the reason why you had that success. So you set up those manageable 3rd downs. You don't get into the situation of 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15 because it's tough and it's easier for a defense to defend unless they're the Bucs' best defense last year, which couldn't defend a long
easy.
I'm just saying.
You're right though.
I'm going to go back to Rod Marinelli. Rod Marinelli. I said, Rod. 3rd down's important. He said, no. Defensively, the most important down is 1st down. If you can keep them behind the chains on 1st down, all of a sudden that playbook shrinks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can keep them behind on 3rd down, it really shrinks. So again, 1st down's important. If it's not 2nd and 6 or less, you got a playbook issue because now you're going to have to throw the football some way, shape, or form. You're going to have to run something because if you don't get 8 yards, 3rd down, now you're throwing it again. So yeah, it gets dicey.
Let me ask you, Chris Godwin, he's not going to play in the slot. He was their main 3rd down guy. What do you do there? You have Evans, of course, on the outside. Do you play McMillan in the slot because he's more familiar? And you play Ibuka on the outside if you're a coach? Or do you think they look at it from the standpoint of, let's play McMillan on the outside and have Ibuka in the slot? Which is a tougher position, in your opinion, to learn? And where do you go? Is it McMillan in the slot because he knows the offense to a certain degree and has been put in that position from last year? Or do you play Ibuka in the slot because we've heard that this kid is very versatile. He can play all those positions, the X, Y, of course, and the slot. So where do you go with that?
Well, you know what? They got to figure out what they're doing with Evans. And I think Evans is always going to be the X. Always. Now, what do you do with the Z? And that's going to be interesting to see how they play this out. Yeah. I think they would like to go, if they go with 3 wideouts, I think they'd like to go Evans wide one way, McMillan the other way, and then Ibuka somewhere in the slot somewhere.
Right.
Because the slot guy is going to get this is going to come out wrong, but I think your best defenders are going to be outside.
Yeah.
The slot guy is not going to be the best defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a safety. He's going to be a linebacker. He's going to be the nickel guy coming in. Why isn't he in to start? Because the other 2 guys are better than him. So I'll tell you what could be interesting. If all of a sudden they put that slot guy outside of Evans or outside of McMillan, now what do you do?
And I'm kind of wondering what Tez Johnson, how he fits in, because I get it. He's a 7th round pick. And a lot of people say, well, why do you draft him in the first place? Maybe for special teams, but maybe because maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe this is me being a little bit too optimistic, maybe looking into it. But I think there's a reason why you draft Tez Johnson in the 7th round. He's been able to catch everything that you hear. I get it. It's indoor football. He's fast. Maybe there's also a plan there. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise where you don't have Godwin, that you have these other guys that could step up and get some really good playing time, much like McMillan did last year.
Well, Leo, can I ask you a question? Straight up. NFC Championship game 2020, the Bucs at Green Bay. Was Scotty Miller the Z on that route? Was Mike Evans the X and Scotty Miller the Z?
Yes.
Okay, so that tells me that it's gonna and Mbuku is not gonna be your Z. Your Z is gonna be Jalen McMillan coming out because of the speed that he's gonna bring on this offense. But the fact that you have such great receivers does give you all kinds of crazy flexibility.
Ibuka, it's Ibuka.
Oh, whatever. You've been messing with me since the day we drafted him, Peter Blake.
I have been. All right. So with that being said, let's go out to our friends from SI, and of course, still Bucs fan. Throwing this out there, Reed Wallach, the senior editor of SI Betting, is willing to lay cash. You listening to this, Harry? Lay the juice on the Bucs as a dark horse candidate to win the Super Bowl. He says that the Bucs are undervalued. The ceiling of Tampa Bay may be questioned, but the team has proven consistent over the last few years, which is why the team has been grouped with the likes of the Vikings and Chargers as a potential dark horse threat. Leo Haggerty, you are a betting man. In your opinion, do you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a dark horse candidate to win the Super Bowl? Yes or no? Why or why not?
Everybody's a dark horse candidate to win the Super Bowl. And the Bucs have all the pieces in place.
Right.
Big if. If Baker Mayfield's under center week 18, yeah. But if all of a sudden, and again, guys, I hate to bring this up.
Stop, Leo.
Baker's never been able to put together 3 seasons healthy. And it's not because he's injury prone. He just plays hard.
Yes.
And sometimes he needs to just throw it to the tuba. Sometimes he needs to just slide. Not in his DNA.
Yeah, but Leo, homeboy's got a baby now. So dad knows that sometimes you got to get rid of that ball because when you get home, it might be your turn to be feeding that little beautiful darling baby of yours. So I'm kidding. But yeah, no, you're right.
I think it also, not only that, but you hear the comments from the new offensive coordinator saying it plays like a UFC fighter. He would like him to live for another day. We've had Todd Bowles talk about this. But again, I put that on Baker Mayfield, but I do think there is some coaching in the background saying, okay, we love the fact that you're willing to, put your head down there and try to get that extra 2 yards. But we also, like you said, want to keep you fully healthy for the entire year. Leo, I know that you got to get out of here. So
by the way, Yandy Diaz just went yard. It's 8-3.
Who
8-3? Yandy Diaz.
Well, there you go. 8-3.
8-3.
Right now, the White Sox, the worst team besides the Colorado Rockies. Tampa Bay Rays.
I'm trying not to suck right there.
Guys, you hit the nail on the head with that earlier in the show.
Right.
The hardest thing, and I would love to ask anybody who's a baseball player.
Sure.
Football, your mentality is you got to win every game. Basketball, 20 losses, cocky 20 losses.
Sure.
You still got 60 wins. The fact that you're going to lose 60 games or more, 60 games means you still have 102 wins. How hard is that to get around mentally? Knowing that there's going to be games. And I can remember I asked Joe Madden this. I said, Joe, I'm figuring 50 games you're going to win. 50 games you're going to lose, no matter who the manager is.
Yeah.
That leaves you 62. Is that pretty close? He said, yeah, that's pretty close.
All right. On that note, let's call in the left-hander. I heard that the meeting between you and Louie, are you going to share some of what happened there? What did you guys eat?
Oh, man, some great clam chowder, that's for sure.
Did he throw out the black jersey for you? Did he give you a sketch of what he wants to do with that black jersey? Are you in favor, Leo Haggerty?
Oh, absolutely. Wait a second, guys. Close your eyes and picture this.
He sold
black helmet, black jersey, black pants, a big old pewter stripe down the pants. The numbers are in red. The helmet, a big flag, and I'll tell you what, I am on board for that real quick.
Oh, listen to you. All right.
Louis, he drank the Kool-Aid.
Louie is selling it. Leo, with your forehead shot. We always love that. Give me the forehead shot right there. The forehead shot looks good right there. We appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot for you breaking that news today here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend, and we'll see you soon here, all right?
Take care, guys. Have a good rest of the show.
All right.
Book him, Dano.
He's out of there. There he goes. All right. Exactly. Come on. Sounds like the Tampa Bay Falcons. Travis Feely of Rocket Sports and Entertainment. Let the truth set you free. Guys, I love the black color. I wear the black here. And I told you, though, every team in the NFC South has a black jersey. Rule. Why don't the Bucs have it? Why did the Bucs have to have one? Why can't they be different? Why are we so infatuated with black? Are we all Rolling Stone fans here? We want to paint it black. I mean, honestly, what is this?
Do you remember it was the Pirates of the Caribbean movie where they were taken over by the strain and it was making their eyes black and they were all black, and I was like, okay. At that point, I realized that I'd never want to see the Buccaneers as black, but you never say never.
The suit is not black. That's a little Borat reference there.
High five.
All right.
My sister, she's number one problem.
Good. That's right. Well, because good guys wear black. Well, yes, the White Sox are being the good guys tonight as they are beating the Tampa Bay Rays. Tom, what do you think about that?
That's good enough to suck right there.
Exactly.
Peter, no one ever asked you, what do you think about these Rays? It's been a crazy season. It's the second half now. We won we won 2 of 3 against the Orioles. What do you think about these Rays in 2025? What are you thinking as far as a postseason run?
I think they can make a postseason run. I'm not ready to give up on them. I'm not ready to say they can't make the playoffs. But yes, they have to beat teams that are below 500, and they've had difficulty with playing down to the competition. With that being said, they've also beaten some teams in Major League Baseball above 500. So I can't figure them out. They got to get healthy. They got to get McClanahan back. They got to start hitting in those key situations. You can't be up and down. They've been up and down this year, and I think they do have to make some moves. But
you got to figure out if the shortstop's going to be an offensive position,
can't
or just
stay
a
healthy,
defensive position,
because availability is the best ability.
The number one, yeah.
And Kim hasn't been able to stay healthy, so it's either Walls or whoever else you got. You got Carson Williams. Is he trade bait? I hate to talk every year from Rays fan. Well, if we're at this point, we got to sell. I mean, it's always like sell Mortimer, sell Lau, sell Brandon Lau, sell Josh Lowe, Yandy Diaz. Like, you're looking to the future. No, let's go. Let's see if you can make some moves. You still have an opportunity. You don't have to be the best team in Major League Baseball. It's kind of like football, right? It's the team that's playing well at the end of the year. It's the team that has the momentum. You look at the Atlanta Braves a couple years ago. We're the best team in the Major League Baseball? No. They got hot at the right time. This team needs to get hot. They need to go through their stretch, and they haven't been able to do it lately. Everybody just jumping off the bandwagon. Harry's saying tonight they're not going to make the playoffs and all this other nonsense. It's a long season. Yeah, playoffs. But I said at the beginning of the year, 91, 92, 93 wins. I believe that. I still think they have the pitching. I think their bullpen needs to work, maybe another arm or two, and maybe you need a big bat. And Acuna has been talked about. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But this is not Stu's ownership. This is not.
But Peter, I'm glad you said that, because I mean, I think the interesting thing is that as much as like, okay, this thing's going to happen, it's already approved, although it won't be approved till September. But these are the people that are going to do it, and these are all the parties. That if it does take a third or fourth party of approval to do a thing, if the Rays are both sellers and buyers at the deadline looking for that bat or that middle reliever that they need to give them that stretch run, we got to make sure we realize that sometimes being a seller, sometimes being a buyer means you're a seller. We may lose that starting pitcher, even though Sugar Shane's coming back, or if he's coming back. So I mean, but that's what baseball's all about. It's day to day. So stay tuned, guys. It's really still way too early.
Stay tuned, but I'm not going to believe in this nonsense that you get rid of a hitter, you're going to be better. You're not going to be better. You're not going to be better without Brandon Lau in this lineup. You're not going to be better with the Yandy Diaz. I don't care what kind of prospects you freaking get for the future. I'm tired of hearing about the freaking future for this team. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Travis Bailey of Rocket Sports and Entertainment. By the way, we got an opportunity to watch Superman, which I think the dog made more cameos than Superman himself. It was still a good movie. Travis,
great movie.
The evolution, my friend.
I would definitely not put great movie. It was enjoyable. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was not great.
Not great.
There were a couple scenes that were like, really, once again, this is like, are you guys kidding me? But yeah, I think the dog should be up for Best Supporting Actor. And
probably was.
Hey, spoiler alert.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen the Superman movie yet, all right, turn us down or just
let's talk about it, Trav, because you're 100% right. You're so right, because I told like my not defense of the movie, but I was like, it's kind of like Superman meets Deadpool, but like not like laughing at himself, but not really like an old take, but a new take. But I think you encapsulated it right there. If this movie were an Academy Award winning movie, that the Super Dog would get the best. Co-actor,
best supporting actor. Yeah, congratulations.
All right, everybody, turn their audio down for a second if you don't want to know about this movie.
Yes,
but I've never seen a superhero or a superhero in a movie get his ass kicked so many times and have to be bailed out by a dog.
True.
I mean, seriously, I think Superman would have been dead 3 times in that movie if it hadn't been for the dog.
It's true. It's absolutely true. And I think
that's
one of the most disappointing aspects of it. You go from Man of Steel and Superman versus Batman, which I didn't think was a great movie, but you go from that to this, and I think that's probably my biggest problem. You kind of take the whole superhero, Superman is the most powerful hero in the DC universe, and you make him look like, he needs his dog all the time. I don't know.
Oh, guys, can I ask you a question, Travis? Because
it was like there were opportunities that he could have used his laser beams out of his eyes to take care of things really quick and really easy. Instead, it was like, oh, I'm going to be, excuse the term, a pussy Superman.
Wait, Travis, can I ask you though? Because I've got a cousin who is we spoke about MAGA tonight, make America Greek again, but his synopsis of this movie was when he put it out there last week. He's like, this movie was so woke. Am I hearing? I don't even know exactly what woke means, but am I hearing you guys both saying that because of everything the way it happened, this movie felt like it was just so woke?
Yeah, I would say
absolutely not. No,
I didn't think it was. I didn't see
think
it.
about that.
Yeah, I didn't.
So I have no idea what that means.
I don't go into movies thinking like that. And if it was, maybe I can say, yeah, I would.
I missed it.
I understand what the term means. I know it, but I know it better than most. So just being in this industry, but that movie wasn't woke. There's been other movies recently that you can say, wow, really? Seriously?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's been a couple Marvel movies that are like, really, are you guys kidding me?
Yep.
And the fact that they're having Silver Surfer come on in a new Fantastic Four movie and be a woman is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, to that point, though, to the comic books, she's not actually the Silver Surfer. She's the wife of the Silver Surfer, and she was a woman. So I think they're kind of yeah.
Okay, well maybe I'm incorrect there.
Yeah, I mean I read on it. I think a lot of people just throw that out there, that woke term, and say, but I think it was more of, like you said, Superman was looked at as weak. We haven't seen that through the ages. I mean, yeah, he got his ass kicked, but not. It seemed like he got his ass kicked more than one time. It's like one or two times. Okay,
dude, it was multiple times.
Well, plus his parents were like Jersey Shore contestants. So I mean, like, it's all of a sudden it's like, okay, so it's not Ma and Pa Kent.
Dude, I didn't understand that casting at all.
At all.
I didn't get that.
But you love him though, Trav. Well, I know you do.
Bradley Cooper as his father, and I don't know who the woman was.
Jarrell, yeah.
But you go from Kevin Costner, and I'm trying to think of, I think it's Diane Lane in Man of Steel.
Yeah, Diane Lane.
To I don't know who that was. Like
he was from Jack Black. What's the name of the group, Trav?
That wasn't Tenacious. That wasn't the guy from Tenacious.
That's not the guy. That's not Jack Black's guy from Tenacious D.
No, 100% no.
Well, who the hell is that guy? Because I'm thinking at least that's like I know who that guy is.
Oh no, we suck again.
That is not. Right.
Crack
it looks like him.
Okay, just so you know. Crack is whack, my friend.
That was a terrible casting. I'm sorry. I was laughing. Like, I get it. You're trying to do this whole he's from Kansas thing, but I mean, you got some real hicks. I mean, sorry.
I didn't understand that casting
at all.
Right? And how about and then Jimmy Olsen, right?
Right.
Jimmy Olsen, some player guy, hooks up with a hot girl, but I can't be with a hot girl. Like, bro, you're like a 6, and this girl's a 9.
That was so bad. You're right though. Because is he a player or is he not a player?
Yeah, I don't know. They just they tried to. It's almost like James Gunn said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this and switch this all up and just screw people's heads. That's what I thought. It's like yeah.
And then the cameo. The late in the movie cameo by Supergirl. What is that? Was that just to set up the Supergirl movie?
Yes,
and
that's what it was.
It looked like she was drunk. She comes in after a bender, and then that's how you're going to.
She looks like she's from for the street at that point. Yeah. She's like social media woman on IG there, and she's just falling down. She's coming in there, and the dog attacked her, and the dog had her. The dog had his way.
Because it's her dog. Well, Superman was just watching the dog. It was her dog.
I mean, it's
so all right. They're setting this up, guys. How about this?
Yes.
Travis, I love you. Go.
Listen to this. Back to back, best supporting actor for the dog, because the dog's not only going to be in Superman.
Okay, wait.
In Supergirl. That's it. Release that piece of garbage movie.
Yes.
And I've got you, Travis. Pruitt Taylor Vince. It wasn't Tenacious D, but it's the actor who plays the father of Clark Kent. And this guy, if we remember him, he was actually in, oh my gosh, it's terrible. He was in Mississippi Burning. He was the guy with cross eyes in Mississippi Burning.
was-
I'm not sure who we're supposed to be. That's where they went with their casting for Papa Kent.
Listen, if you're going to make a new edition of Deliverance, that guy,
He was the guy. Yes.
Right.
I mean,
That's
I felt bad for him. Like it went from Kevin Costner, who's ultra strong, to that guy, and he's like and cross-eyed. And I think they were trying to make a point, but it's like, what was the point in that? Like that guy raised him.
He's got a sense of humor.
You just called that guy basically a sea-level Ned Beatty.
He was a sea-level Ned.
You're like a pig.
He's like a pig. He's like a pig.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Exactly.
Oh man, are we off the rails? Bring Leo back so we can look at his forehead again.
I love that. Don't you? I love that. What did you think of the news today from Leo Haggerty? Are you surprised by Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs starting out on the PUP list here?
No, I think you're going to see that, we've seen it across the league.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some pretty considerable injuries across the league, and let's just hope that once again, Godwin, like you guys said about availability, that is the key. So to have obviously the probably top 5 offensive linemen in the league be out for possibly 3 to 4 games, that's considerable, man. But also you have to have faith in Jason Light. The guy's been arguably, 1, 2, 3 general manager. I'm throwing out a lot of numbers there.
Hey, Travis, but go ahead. Let's talk about the fact your Lions lose both their offense and defensive coordinators. Gives your Bears a chance in the NFC North. Are the Packers going to continue to be a thorn in the side of the Bears, or will Caleb and the Bears go ahead and jump out and rule the pack there in the NFC North in 2025?
Good question.
I think it's going to be a meat grinder of a division. I'm hoping that J.J. McCarthy isn't how people are saying that he's going to be in this league, but it's going to be tough when you got, Jordan Addison might be hurt. And I'll get back to your Packer question here in a second here, right? But, I'm hoping there's a downward spin with Minnesota, and I think there's going to be a downward drop a little bit with Detroit. Not a lot, but enough to let the Packers and the Bears possibly fight it out for first in that division. And you might see the Vikings at 4 there. So once again, it's going to be a grinder of a season where, you're going to get 10-7 might win that division this year.
Yeah, absolutely wrong with Travis Faley of Rocket Sports and Entertainment, not Rocket Sports and Science, as Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy said once on this show, which I could not believe.
But great. Pete, it's going to be tough for the Bears. They have the 5th toughest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
Not like San Francisco, who's got the easiest schedule in the league on a huge bounce back season. I know Frisco's obviously not in the Bears and Vikings and Lions division.
Right.
But, you look at schedule, guys. I mean, it's not going to be easy. And do I think they make a run for the playoffs this year? I say they make a run. It'll be, 50-50, obviously, if they get in, if they make it. But with that schedule, it's going to be tough, and there's going to be growing pains between Johnson and Caleb. And I think Johnson's going to want to do some pretty extreme things, and he's going to have to pull back because Caleb's still learning.
Yeah, he's still learning, but all the weapons are there.
You got your third. You're on your 3rd offensive coordinator already, and you guys only been in the league for a year and a half. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be watchable. It's going to be fun, and it's all about development. Because I think even if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think they make a deep run next year, and I think they compete for the Super Bowl not in 28.
I think we lost Ray there.
I was hoping it would be 26-27, but I think it'll be 27-28. It'll be in that, I believe, that 4th year of Caleb's career with the Bears. And I think they make a run because that's where the contract comes into play. Because if you can win within the first 3 to 4 years on that rookie deal, you're good, because by that time quarterbacks are going to be at $75 million a year, and it's just going to be crazy outrageous, and you're not going to be able to afford all the other guys that they're going to need. I still think there's some considerable weaknesses in the secondary and in defense, where the offense should be pretty good. But once again, to start off how you asked this question earlier about Tristan Wirfs coming back there, if your offensive line stays healthy, you can you can make some moves. I mean, just look at what Philadelphia did. The key parts of that team were the offense and defensive lines, and that's why.
So Travis, best division in the NFC, the West, the North, the South, the East. And I ask this because you know the Bucs, because you're literally one of the best photographers I've ever seen shooting or any sporting event, Raymond James, but shooting the Bucs games.
What's going on here? There's a whole lot of compliments going on here from Ray Henry.
Well, I wanted to make sure that we wanted to make sure you weren't with Rocket Sports and Science. But no, I mean, what is the best division in the NFC? Because the NFC North last year just did some crazy things, but people want to keep trying to sell me on the NFC East.
You know, well, that Giants team is really holding that. The Giants are the one that's holding back the East. Yep. All right, but if you look, it all depends once again on McCarthy. If McCarthy plays like he can play, and he keeps the Vikings in there, it's obvious. There's two great divisions in football, and that's going to be the AFC West and obviously the NFC North. Those are the two toughest divisions in football, especially with what happened with Oakland in Las Vegas in the offseason.
Yeah, because I think Las Vegas is going to be improved with John Spytek and, of course, Pete Carroll. So it'll be interesting to see what that offense is all about. Geno Smith at the controls. He's been okay. Of course, you've got Kansas City. Of course, you've got L.A. there. And Denver. Nobody's talking about Denver, a second-year quarterback with Bo Nix. I mean,
you think Jeffrey's going to be a big Jeffrey out there in the Raiders because they're going to finally give Las Vegas a running game? Going to give him a shot to guys? Is it the Chiefs not winning the AFC West? Would that be the biggest surprise?
Yeah, Genety.
No. I don't think the Chiefs win the West this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who wins?
I don't think
Chargers. Chiefs, Raiders?
I'm actually leaning a little bit towards Denver because of the fact that they do have the number one defense, I believe. I don't know if it's in the league or pretty darn close. It's either 1, 2, 3 in pro football, and Bo Nix is going to get better. Will he have a sophomore slump? That's the one thing that's going to hold Denver back. But then you go in and you look on the other scope with LA. I think LA is going to be much improved in year 2 of Jim Harbaugh's system.
Yeah.
And they got the good running game going on now. And it's just in the two obvious bookends and the left and right tackle, that O-line is going to be solid. And that's it's time for Herbert to shine. They do need another wide receiver.
Yeah.
Especially with
he's so overrated. I think Justin Herbert is so overrated. I've heard enough of him. I want to see it. And I haven't seen it, and I get it. People go, well, he hasn't had the weapons. He hasn't had this. To me, it's put up or shut up time for Herbert. Just my opinion. I don't know. I think he's overrated.
I agree. I think they make the playoffs this year, and I don't think they make a big run, but you just got to get in and see what happens from there. We've watched that with Philadelphia a couple times now where, hey, years ago too, especially get in, you make a run. Buccaneers, you get in, you make a run.
Yeah.
You can win the Super Bowl. You just got to get hot at the right time and be healthy.
Which is ironically how this baseball season is going to work out. I mean, because we're like the Rays are here, we're like in 4th place in the East, and all this bunching up going on. It's going to be the team that gets healthy and gets hot at the right time, which is exciting, which is the way it should be.
And the team, it's also though, Ray, the proof is the cream is gonna rise to the crop at some point. The Dodgers are not going to continue to have this kind of season-long slump. I mean, not season-long slump, but I mean, they're having horrendous.
They're just getting Snell back. So yeah, it's crazy, right?
They're going to be there. The Yankees obviously are going to be there. It's going to be the big guns will be there, but let's hope that we get some smaller market teams just to make it interesting. And it's good for the guys. Come on, seriously though. All right, let's switch this conversation once again.
Sure.
You got 10,000, basically 11,000 seats in that stadium.
Yeah.
Are you freaking telling me that you can't put 11,000 seats inside that stadium? I get it. It's hot. It's hot as balls.
Yeah.
But, I don't really get what the new owners are even thinking.
Well, the new owners are thinking that you're going to put a stadium. Hopefully it's a retractable. You're going to put it in a better location. You're going to also do what the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Tampa Bay Buccaneer ownerships have been able to do. The blueprint is there. People continue to talk about location and talk about, the team's success. But again, when you have the Tampa Bay Lightning and their ownership bending over backwards for fan base and doing everything they can. When you have the Bucs going for it with Tom Brady multiple years in a row, and you have a Rays team that just does the bare minimum, and then you expect a fan base. Yeah.
That's where I was going with this, Pete. You guys started talking about, before we flipped over to football, you guys were talking about the Rays and the white flag scenario. I want to know, how are they going to approach this trade deadline because of the deal that was cut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how does that play? Where's the money? Where's the line at? Where's the out-of-pocket expense for the outgoing ownership group, and to spend on players?
Mm-hmm.
Do they just dump salary and that gets reverted back to the owners prior to the sale, or
who has to approve it? I mean, you really have to call Zapatis over in Jacksonville, or whoever his name is, Zalepki.
It's not Zaletsky. It's Zalepsky. Zalupski, excuse me. The group.
You gonna call him?
And they according to JP Peterson about a week and a half ago, he said that the new ownership has dived or delved, if you will, into this team, and they're willing to make some moves whenever they need to make the moves. And of course, it comes down to, will the Rays be in contention? It is tight right now. It's not looking good for the Rays, but again, baseball is about ebbs and flows, and that this ownership feels like they need a couple moves to get them over the top to make them a World Series contender. I would not be surprised with their deep pockets.
Ownership groups, though?
It's Zalepsky.
I know, right? Well, and here's the thing.
It's simple. When is
the sale?
September. It's going to be September, but already the deal is basically done. It's been agreed to in principle. So to answer your question, it's the new ownership. It's not up to Stu. Stu has no bearing in this at all. None.
Well, that's like a big gray area, though. That's what I mean. It's because it's like,
my question comes into play.
It's not a gray area.
When does
big gray area
have final say?
Because right now, if Stu wants to sit behind home plate tomorrow, can Zalepsky say no? I don't want him there. I want him up in the back somewhere.
He can sit in Timbuktu if he wants to. He has no control at this point. It's the new ownership. They're looking into it. They're looking to make deals. They have a deal with Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball wants this to go down. And the money, if they want to spend the money at this point, the new ownership, they will spend money if they feel like they need to make those moves. To answer your question, this is not on Stu or the previous ownership. This is on the new ownership to make these moves. That's why it's so important, if you will, for this team to show that they're going to still be in contention. And I think they will be in contention. And if they are, and if they do need to make those moves, I would be very, very disappointed in new ownership to not make those moves at the end of the day. Just saying.
Okay. Well, I was like, they're like, it's not official till September, till the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
It's been agreed to in principle.
But I mean, there has to be and I think what Travis was alluding to, and I want to know is what is it like a black case? You break it, you go, okay, the code is right. It's, so-and-so, he's in Stu's office and we can approve it. I mean, because I love what JP said. I think that it would behoove a new owner of this team to not keep the entire front office and whatever analytics you want to talk about, because this team's been successful the last 15 years. But I mean, right now in 2025, when it starts getting toward the end of July, hopefully we have a little more clarification on exactly where the purchase of this team is, because someone does have to make this call. And Travis, I think you're also alluding to that call, sometimes it comes at 11:59 and 58 seconds. You got to make it. And we can't be worrying about having to fax people around the country because they're all partial ownerships or potential owners of the Rays.
Not a partial ownership.
And
it's ownership
year is it
at this
fax,
point.
by the way?
Yeah, there's no facts at this point.
Did I say facts? I'm such an idiot.
I mean, again, it comes down to they're exploring this franchise right now. They're trying to dig in. I mean, this has been talked about, and this is from Sun Devil Dave. This is from Yahoo Sports on July 8th. Again, Rays get Ronald Acuna Jr. And the Braves would acquire Carson Williams Jr., or Carson Williams, excuse me, not Jr., but the shortstop, Shane Baz, Theo Gillen, Yanel Corrette, and Brody Hopkins. Those are like 3 or 4 top prospects at this point. To get a player like Acuna You add him with Caminero in this lineup. Oh my gosh. I mean, I still think this team needs pitching, but that helps your team out at the end of the day. But it is giving up your future. It is going away from what has made this Rays team. But again, you decide to do the same thing over and over again, which is keep your top prospects. You're only going to get to a certain point. I go back to David Ortiz, Big Papi, former Boston Red Sox. He said it best, this Moneyball thing has a limitation. There is a limit to what they are and what they're going to be. And if you want to take that next step forward and not only be a playoff contender and be in contention and win a division, but also win a World Series, you're going to have to get rid of some of these prospects, and you're going to have to make that move that puts you over the top, because every other team we know is going to look at it. The Yankees are going to look at it, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Dodgers, they're going to look at those moves. The Rays have not made it. And don't give me the Nelson Cruz nonsense. He was washed up. I get it. You gave up Joe Ryan. A lot of Rays fans, see, there you go. We did it one time. You gave up Nelson Cruz. We're talking about one of the youngest one of the great players in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, now, Peter, I'll give this to you. Acuna, if Acuna coming here to the Rays with their new ownership group would be, and now don't stop me because I'm going to finish it by giving a complimentary notice on what you just said, but it would almost be the same as the 98 Rays acquiring Wade Boggs. But except Acuna is not at the end of that journey. He's still very much in the middle of that journey. He could be a bat that helps his team at the deadline. So I think that if the Rays are going to be huge buyers at the deadline, we're hoping that the pitching figures itself out. But yeah, obviously Acuna, a local guy, local kid, wants to come home, and that would be the big splash play that your new ownership group would say to start building, like you've said all along, that trust between the community, the fans, and the ownership, because we're going to bring players in here. We're going to keep them here and establish roots.
And it's what's been missing about this from this fan base and the whole situation is the commitment to the community, commitment to not only win games but try to win a World Series, and that's the reason.
With local kids too.
Well, local guys, but a superstar that is just it transforms the organization just like that overnight. Like, that's a huge move, right, Travis?
Yeah, absolutely. They got to get past this whole Wander Franco thing also, so that really set back this franchise. Big time. That absolutely came out of nowhere, and that
crushed
really
it.
hurt this.
But that whole big Acuna swing, if that ends up being a swing and a miss, does that end up being like something that's really hard to recover from this new ownership group?
Dude, at least
because that's not the way the Rays have done baseball for 14 years, and they've been right up there, Travis.
That's the problem, though. How many World Series championships have you won in that time? I appreciate the fact that you spent less money, but could you imagine, once again, if you added another bat? Could you imagine if you added another arm, how much better you would have been against the Dodgers in that series or any other year?
Or let Snell in. But, okay.
But just take any year where the Rays are in contention and you make that big time move and just settling and doing the same thing. We're going to keep our prospects. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're not going to trade for Cliff Lee. We're going to keep Jeremy Hellickson, or we're going to keep Wade Davis. We're going to keep the next guy that's going to be Carl Crawford. What was his name? Nobody knows. You know why? Because he wasn't the next Carl Crawford. You kept the guy there. He was productive, but he wasn't nothing to write home about. But if you make that move for Cliff Lee, you never know. If you make a move for Jason Bay in 2008, I get it. They eliminated him for the Red Sox. But if you add him to that lineup, which basically everybody went cold against the Phillies, who knows? That's the difference. You make the move. You do something different. Yeah, you mess up. Okay, fine. You messed up. But you were trying to get a young superstar in Major League Baseball to come here to Tampa to draw the fans here. That's what you got to do. You got to put your balls out there on the table.
You guys are 100% correct. You got to get players that play the game and play it well on a high level in the big places, in the big spots.
Yeah.
So, you can't expect guys, mid-range guys, even let's put a number on it. A bunch of sevens.
Yeah.
That team's going to go through a bunch of 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s. At some point, you have to have a 9.
Well,
you have
listen,
to have
I think
you have to have a great player, guys, especially if you're going to compete in the East and you're going to compete with the Yankees.
I think
Look what
Junior.
the
I
Red
think
Sox have been doing.
yeah, I think Junior Caminero could be a 9 or a 10. I mean, he's young. He's 22 years old, but what he's doing right now, I mean, all players in the last 30 years, and the names are Alex Rodriguez, Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, Mike Stanton. I mean, names like that. You're being compared to those guys. Mike Trout doing what he's been able to do right now. I mean, if he gets hot, but again, he's one of the guys. The other guys are just guys. You know, Brandon Laus had a good year, Yandy Diaz, but add Acuna Jr. and that takes the pressure off of that kid. And now, how do you pitch that lineup? It gives you so much flexibility.
That's another ego for the locker room, no, Pete. That's been one of the reasons, one of the things that's been absent. The Rays,
let him handle that. It's Acuna Jr. is not Antonio Brown. You're not bringing Antonio Brown to your
You
lineup.
had a fight though 2 years ago between Yandy Diaz and Wander Franco, right? Or who was it? The Rays, the players were fighting in the parking lot over there at Tropicana Field.
They were parking, but they did move on. Again, though, I think
they did.
That again, I think everything when all is said and done, if you add a superstar like Acuna Jr., who has power, who has all the tools, and you make this lineup more flexible, you're not so dependent on a Yandy Diaz and a Brandon Lau, especially a Lau. I love Brandon Lau, but we all know he goes through these streaks. You're not so dependent on him because you have that young superstar in Acuna Jr. You have that young superstar. And
wait, Acuna's a second baseman?
No, he's not a second baseman, but you don't have to depend on a Brandon Lau. It's not about positions. It's about
Brandon Lau, that production out of the second base position you've had with Brandon Lau.
What do we know about Brandon Lau? If he steps on a banana pill, he could get hurt. Okay? He could jump out of bed and get hurt.
Wait, let me ask Travis though. Travis, you said something earlier on this call.
As soon as you said banana, I thought he was going to start talking about Beverly Hills Cop.
That's right.
But Travis,
also
you've been
bananas. Yeah, there you go.
Travis, you said something earlier on this call, Travis. I want to ask you because I'm not trying to make a big deal about this, but you've been pretty much, I don't want to say underwhelmed, but the attendance in Hillsborough wasn't as great as it was supposed to be the moment this team stepped across the east side, was it?
100%. That place should be sold out every game. Every game. 11,000 seats, guys. 11.5, something like that.
That's how we like our baseball. We like it on TV. We may want to see the sunset. We may want to see a rainstorm. We may want to. I mean, that's Florida. I mean, that's why. And I'm not trying to say the team belongs or it should be on the east or west side of Hillsborough County. I just want to make sure we're all cognizant.
Yes,
before we get over there, Pete, let's all be realizing that the fact of the matter is we're never going to be a 50,000 people on a Wednesday night sellout because it's just, I mean, we're fans, but Florida's different.
I think that's 50K, bro. We're talking 11,000.
I think that's ridiculous because I think they would say the same thing about hockey. And what happened? What was the difference? The ownership, the consistency, keeping your own players. When have the Rays? When have the Rays done that?
Hey, the only reason why that place isn't sold out, or the only viable reason I can see, is that it's 90 degrees at 7 o'clock.
Correct.
No, Travis, I'm telling you, we parked at the strip.
That's the only reason, guys.
There's a strip club, which is great. Right across the street on the side street from Del Mabry. Tristan and I parked for $10. He got the coupons they got from going to the garage sale they had here when they had to close the garage sale after 1 hour because they sold everything out. They were selling out pretty much basically everything that didn't get watered down during Milton. But I mean, there's a place to park over there. And I'm not saying Pete, I drove by Yingling and Amelie and Raymond James just this week on Tuesday. And I'm like, Tampa is so huge. I'm not saying that the Rays don't belong in a stadium in Tampa. What I'm saying is let's just all remember, for all the crap you've been giving St. Pete for 20 years, we're just now getting the nightlife that Miami Beach wishes they had. We're starting to go between 15 and 21 grand average. Let's remember when we move across the bay, if this team's not in the first three places in the American League East, there's going to be an empty stadium wherever it's built, whether it's the fairgrounds or Ybor or where have you.
I'm not ready to say that because you've never had decent ownership, consistent ownership like you have with the Lightning and like you have with the Bucs. I mean, that's the thing that comes down to. People keep on glossing. Well, they won. Well, you had stupid ownership every year talk about how pathetic the fans are. Paraphrasing, he didn't have to say, he just said it through his comment. Well, I can't swallow, paying this much or doing this much, or if you guys don't come out, we don't win, I'm going to cut salary. Like, nobody wants to hear that damn crap.
He was such a jerk.
It's all part and parcel with each other.
Right.
I mean, we've been talking about this for years now about the same situation with the Rays. It's all part and parcel. The fans come out to support the team. Allegedly, the owners are supposed to put back into the team, but they don't even really need the fans to go out to support the team because they got the TV money.
Correct.
So the fans think that the TV money should pay, that the owners should be going all in. This is a stupid situation.
Well, Travis, all the owners have done.
Hold on, Ray. It's circling and cycling and cycling and cycling. Yep. Now it's going to change, or we better hope it changes.
Well, because it's better change good, because all this ownership groups has done since 2008 is basically, with this one of the smallest payrolls in baseball, giving yourselves a chance to win the American League East year in and year out for 20 years.
The lowest payroll in baseball. And
the other teams hate that they have to pay luxury taxes to pay us. I get that. So kiss our ass. What I'm saying is that this ownership group has put us. We've literally been in contention to win the best division in baseball over the last 20 years, 15 times. So I'm saying with new ownership, swing for the fence, go for Acuna, bring in Judge, but just make sure you're realizing what's worked here.
What is worked?
This is ridiculous.
What is worked?
We've gone to the white flag part of the season numerous times. You're saying that they've been in a position to possibly win 15 out of the last 20 years, but when they could have been in position to win, they just decided not to do anything.
Right.
At the trade deadline.
And fans are supposed to embrace that.
About 1,000 times.
1,000 times.
But the fact that they did nothing at the trade deadline meant that the following September, you had a team that was right there, also same in contention. I know it's tough to buy, but I'm talking about go back to when the Dodgers played in Brooklyn. You had like 17 teams of fans of teams that by October, by July, they're like, oh,
you're such an
Jackie Robinson's just the best. Sandy Koufax will go.
How much of an apology?
Didn't the Brooklyn Dodgers go after free agents, by the way? Didn't they go after free agents?
What I'm saying, though, is that we're talking about a team that's year in and year out in contention for the best division in baseball.
BFD, if you have Yankee fans here and Red Sox fans here and Cubs fans and everybody else, Dodger fans here, and you're trying to appease those people, and they see their teams go in every year, and they watch the Rays and go, well, what a great story this is. Such a great story. It's like a super freaking hero movie over and over again. The good guy beats the bad guy loses, or the bad guy beats the good guy.
But the good guy has a chance all the way till the end.
Bro,
and that's got me captivated.
There's no ending to this at all. It's nonsensical.
So let's see how it works with Zlepkis. Let's go get Acuna. Let's sign Judge. Let's trade away everything. Forget the farm. And let's figure out if it works here. Because if it doesn't, there'll be a stadium somewhere in Hillsborough County with 11,000 people at a game.
Right, because that's what's supposed to happen.
Very important.
It's Zlepsky, by the way, not Zlepkis. Yeah, and not Galifianakis either, by the way.
Did I say Galifianakis?
You forgot something very important.
What is that? What is important?
You're saying the good guy beats the bad guy, and the bad guy beats the good guy, and you forgot one key part. Sometimes the dog actually saves the day.
The dog saves the day. And the owner has been a damn it's been a dead dog issue when it comes to this ownership. I say it over and over. Well, look what they've done. They've done so many great things. This is a great story because you know why? They're the lowest spending team in baseball. You know what pissed me off about Moneyball, and I continue to go back to this. They want to romanticize this whole friggin' Moneyball deal. But guess what? The Oakland A's, and with all this maneuvering and all this genius, oh my God, this analytics of baseball. This is great. Did they win one World Series out of that time?
Nope, and now they're playing in Sacramento.
There you go.
But there's 25 teams that haven't won a World Series in 30 years. It's just the way that plays out. At least they were there.
Oh, okay, great. You're there, but what's it prove? If you're not going for, like, I could accept the fact of, listen, you're there, you try to make the move. The Rays have never tried to make that move. Don't tell me Nelson Cruz is your biggest move of all time, who's washed up, who's 5 years removed from being washed up. Come on. That's the biggest move. I mean, listen, I could see you go for Acuna, you strike out. You go for Shohei, you strike out. Thank God I didn't go for Shohei because supposedly the Rays were willing to give up Junior Caminero, and that worked out in the Rays' favor. But it's every year.
The Rays were at a pitcher, though, Pete.
Oh, the pitching. They got the pitching. Great prospects. The prospects that look to the future. A perpetual rebuild all the time. Let's be the Cleveland Browns of Major League.
Look, what went down this rabbit hole was the fact that I'm saying if you've got a team that in 2029, if this Rays are playing at the fairgrounds, well, if they're at the fairgrounds, they have the Hard Rock money.
Damn.
But if they're not in the first three places, if they're like in fourth or fifth place in the East.
2029. They care about 2025. Make the moves that make your team great. If you want to be a world
pack that stadium.
They'll pack the stadium if
they're already packing it. I mean, look at the people that are not showing up already.
Listen, if the fans know you're all in and you're invested, by the way, the Bucs have done this with the Glazers. They've done it. It's worked. The Lightning have done it for so many years, signing their own talent and going out there in the trade deadline to make the moves. I'm not gonna fault the Lightning. The Lightning did everything they could. They got beat by a buzzsaw of a team in the Florida Panthers.
Great, yeah.
But they made the moves.
But though, Pete, I'm going to call you out on this right now because you said that the reason why the people, the fans don't go to the stadium is because they don't want to put any more money in Stu's pockets, which I get. That's actually a great argument. But what they missed was Jake Magnum's in the park home run when he circled the bases on that infield hit. What I'm saying though is that the fact that there are not 11,000 people lining up across that bridge across Del Mabry, I don't care if Beelzebub owns this team. It tells me that just because the baseball team's a little bit east doesn't mean it's going to be a sellout every time.
Should have a boat parade for Stu and the ownership of doing the bare minimum to the other ownerships in this community.
Except for always being in first place or winning a wild card.
Oh, great.
They're assholes. They should. What? How dare you try to win your division? We wish you guys sucked, but took big swings.
Win a division. I mean, you win a division. Well, what else? What do you do after that? I mean, you want to get Yankee fans. You want to be at the bar.
We have scoreboard on Yankees and Red Sox fans. You already have it.
Listen, you want to be at the high school prom there. You want to be on the wall there looking at the girl. You want to go home with the girl. What do you want to do?
I want to go home.
Okay, then.
Hey,
what are we talking
Pete,
about? Yes.
Pete, I just got a text that Rob the Sports God's on hold and I'm going to get bumped for him. So
well, you're not going to get bumped, but Travis, appreciate the call as always. We keep on going back and forth
Pete,
on this.
Are you doing a show on Wednesday night?
I am doing a show on Wednesday night, my friend. Yes.
Okay, so we might have Pete and Travis at the movies again. So, all right.
Pete and Travis at the movies.
What movie this week?
Well, F1. It's probably F1.
I saw F1 3 weeks ago. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. That's a great movie.
But hey, Travis and Peter on Friday night over at Ferg's, we're doing a watch party for Happy Gilmore 2, and it's a Rays Cincinnati Reds watch party. So come on over there, and I'll buy you guys both. I'll buy you some wings, Peter. Travis, I'll buy you a drink. I know you're a little more sophisticated.
Listen, I'm not coming out there to I'm not coming out there to go live, but I come out there on Friday night. You're definitely buying me some freaking wings.
I got you. I always take care of this. The Rolex reporter.
You take care of me. You better take care of me if I come out there.
You know I do.
All right.
Hey, Ray, you need to talk to Mark Ferguson and help promote the Rat show that's going to be out there in a couple months.
Rat, yes. We had the Def Leppard experience this last weekend, brother.
And
I like it. I like it a lot.
Round and round.
Mark's been great for that community. I can only give him that guy in his place as much support as I can.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the downsides. I love St. Pete. I love downtown St. Pete. I love Ferg's. I love everything they do there. I just want to see this team go to where there's a great population, great ownership. I think for years it's sad. Because St. Pete deserves so much better. The fan base deserves so much better than what they got.
Pete,
just my opinion.
Pete,
yep.
Ferg's is more of a Tampa St. Pete landmark than the Tampa Bay Rays. You heard it here first. And I'm ending
Travis Faley, I will take you. And let me tell you something. For that rat weekend, I got you covered, brother. But you're the best photographer in the Pinellas County, so I had no reason to worry about covering you.
All right, Travis Faley of Rocket Sports and Science. Rocket Sports and Entertainment.
Science.
I had to
I
say
hate
it.
you, Peter.
We
but
appreciate
It's
it.
a science.
Tuesday, we're going to see F1 or what?
Yep, I believe so.
All right, Tuesday, F1. There you go. Book it.
He wins.
I hate.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right, guys.
I didn't ruin it for you. We did go see it, though.
Shut up, Ray. Open phone lines if you want to call up here. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. All right, we got some bad news here. Update on the Rays score.
That's good enough to suck right there.
8-2.
F-U, 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 and F-U. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
Rays lose 8-3 to the Chicago White Sox. And here comes
It happens.
And, all right, I think this will be our final call of the night unless somebody else calls in because we're nearly at 3 hours. Alex, welcome to the Evolution. Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy. Hey, guys. Let's talk some strategy here for a minute. And I want to actually back up what Pete just said on that last call in the conversation you guys had.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is with the Rays and what it's been with Stu Sternberg is, listen, the Rays 2 years ago won 99 wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tough division, AL East title.
Yep.
Was all sweet. But guess what? The Rays took a first-round exit.
Yep.
What's the point? I think what Peter's trying to say is, and I'm going to try to back you up because I don't usually get opportunities to back you up, Peter, but I'm going to do it today. The problem is that the Rays always fall short. Rather it's 2020 or 2020 in the World Series, we were short on power against the Dodgers. We were short multiple hands on top of the analytics, but I ain't going to go there today. But I just feel that we've always sold ourselves short. And I agree with you also on it's always about the future, the future, the future, the future, the future, the future. It's always about more prospects for the future. What about the now?
Thank you.
This is why you can't pack, a 10,000 seat stadium. It's not because we don't have fans. Rays have fans. Rays are just like myself. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. You guys both know me very well. I love the community. I give out a lot of my tickets. I do it every single day, almost every day. I do it so I don't have to go. Not because I don't love the Rays. I get Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy's point about talking about how, hey, you did miss that inside the park home runs. I'm not saying that I don't support the Rays, but I'm saying it's hard to support an ownership group who always sells ourselves short.
Thank you.
We are short every single year of something, just like right now. We're selling ourselves short. The Ha-Seong Kim deal is going to fall flat on our asses because, once again, you spent over $10 million, which, by the way, he got pulled again today.
Yep. Back sword tightness. Yep. There you go.
This ownership, and I'm not even technically talking just about Stu Sternberg. I'm going to put Eric Neander on the spot too, because he always posts. I got to hear an interview with J.P. Peterson and him, and there was someone else in an interview. I believe it was with J.P. Peterson's show, but I was listening to an interview and.
Well, Eric Neander would be on T-Crash show there. He's always
the
on
T-Crash show.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was talking about how we.
What are you saying, Peter?
Well, he's saying. I mean, they're the official station of the Rays.
They go by the one station that won't ask them the right questions because they have to kiss their butts to make sure they keep their contract. I mean, okay, yeah.
Think about it for a minute. You got Chandler Simpson, right? I mean, he's a story of Major League Baseball. He had to go down for 2 to 3 weeks. Did you see what he did on Saturday night? I mean, did you see how much of a difference he made? I mean, he gets on.
But Peter, the problem with Simpson is, well, also don't forget he's very young, but he's very inconsistent too. He's another night 0 for 4 at the plate tonight.
He just got over an 18-game hitting streak there.
Agreed. But the problem is with the Rays is we're not holding the right guys accountable. You know what? One guy who's been so bad for 3 years, and I've sat here behind it, and every single year.
Walls.
No, Lowe. Brought Josh Lowe.
Josh Lowe.
But
it's not coming.
He's
But
their,
yeah.
their
You
top
are right on
prospect.
it. You are right on it. Every single year we hear about how he has another year of great potential. He's either hurt or he's at the plate batting just around 225. Today, another 0 for 4 night.
It's not good. It's not going to get it done.
It's just this front office always sells itself short. And it's so disappointing because we really do have good talent. We really do have a good, not going to say farm system, but we really do have a good backup system to use. But at the major league level, the Tampa Bay Rays and owner Stu Sternberg always sells this team short.
But Alex, let me ask you this, because you made great points there. Isn't that the 2025 curse of a Tampa Bay Rays fan? Is that we're hoping that we knew that Eric Neander, we knew that the front office, Matt Silverman going back, we knew they would make great decisions because we've been there. But now we're kind of hoping that now that we have some people who are genuinely interested in investing in a fervor here in Tampa Bay, will make the right decisions. But then at the same time, we're also at the same time going, but let's make sure we're doing what we've been doing all along, because we've kind of always been right there at the cuspis of the wild card and or the division for the last decade.
Absolutely agree. And Peter, let me get this last thing out there before I go.
Yep.
You know what I think what sells the Rays so short in this division, not even just in the division, just in general, is I really do think that this analytic thing has just gone too far.
Yep.
Let me ask you something. You all want to know why the Yankees and all these teams are so successful and why Kevin Cash falls every single year, which I'm not gonna really blame it on Cash. I'm gonna blame it on the front office. Let's take this back to the front office. I have never seen a team besides the Tampa Bay Rays who go after records for the most lineup changes. Why is your all-star? Hear me out, guys. Let me ask you guys a question. I'm gonna actually ask you guys this question. You're in the ninth inning yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got, I don't remember who it was, but you have two ABs. You have Simpson, who ended up popping out. Game on the line, bases loaded. You got Cabby, who's 0 for 3. Guess who's sitting right on that bench, not in the lineup? Your all-star, Jonathan Aranda, was not. I was shocked to see that he was not pulled in. These are the moves that really pull this team back. You have to have consistency. Like Kevin Cash wants to break that record.
It's one and the same, though. I don't think it's Kevin Cash. I think it's. I think it's Upper.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
He's being told what to do, but you cannot win any, especially in the playoffs. You're never going to win
playoffs. But Alex, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, but let me hear this out.
Well, no, let me hear this out, because you open yourself. I went to law school, so I did sleep at a Holiday Inn. You open yourself up when you said that the Yankees fans were so much more happy where they are as opposed to Rays fans where they are. Are you telling me that if you ask Yankee fan right now, regardless of been in the World Series getting their ass kicked by the Dodgers last year, if you ask Yankees fans since 2010, have the Rays had their number, or have they got scoreboard on the Rays? How would Yankees fan answer right now if I asked them that question?
I mean, at the end of the day,
you're pondering.
Actually, that's actually a good question.
I think it's
because we've owned them.
Well, listen,
no. We've owned them
right during the regular season. During the but they at least go for it. At least they go for it. They go for it.
They're buyers at the deadline, but we've owned them postseason and regular season. Over the last decade, we've actually had a better record than the Yankees.
But what have you won out of that?
I agree with that. But do you know what
do the Mets won? What the Pirates win? What the Blue Jays win? I mean, a lot of teams don't win.
At least they try.
But we're right there. We're there trying, doing what we do.
If you tried and did more, like those teams, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Can't argue with that.
Guys. I want to ask you a question before I go.
Yes.
Do you know what held the Yankees back last year in the World Series?
What was that?
Analytics. Because they did exactly what the Rays did. They pulled their pitcher. They blew it. Everyone's saying that they lost because of that bad fifth inning. That's not why they lost. Aaron Boone did exactly a Kevin Cash 2.0.
Alex, I'm glad you saw that. But what I'm hearing now is that from now moving forward forever, anytime we see a manager who, it's been happening since the 1800s, they see a guy just doesn't have it. His wife's having a baby, his mom's sick, maybe he's got an ulcer, he's got a hemorrhoid, but we figure out he doesn't have it. So now I'm hearing that every time a manager makes a decision to pull a pitcher who could actually still throw a Cy Young award-winning performance, we're going to call it analytics. So at the end of the day, now I'm starting to go, I'm not going to agree with that 100%.
Here's the question I have. Well, so here's the question I have to ask you guys. It's either or just an unfortunate thing, or I just don't understand it. And this is a question I have, especially for Mr. Ray, Best of the Bay.
You'll know this better than I do, Alex. So go ahead.
Question for you guys. Today I saw a struggling, which is very rare, a struggling Shane Boz.
Yep.
Going to, which is very, by the way, that is rare. Shane Boz has been pretty decent this year, but regardless, against the White Sox, he went to the 4th, 5th inning. He had already given up 75 pitches. Kevin Cash decides to leave him in.
Yep.
Give up another 2-run home run.
It's a bad move.
And put ourselves a little too out of reach. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. The reason why I brought that up is for a question. I'm going to ask you both. You can both answer this. Why is it that it's so unfortunate that you either, A, you leave your pitcher in the struggle, or B, you pull them out when they're elite?
It's one or the other, right?
Great question. Alex, appreciate the call as always, my friend. All right. All right. Great stuff.
And he left him in there because at the end of the day, we've already learned in the last week, he has a bullpen that he has no confidence in. So you leave Shane out there, even if you're giving up the first of 3 against the Chicago White Sox. Hopefully you get the next 2 and you win a series like you did against the Orioles, which was, the first 2 and losing the last game there.
There you go. All right, Ray, give us some final thoughts because I'm wrapping it up right now.
Just wrap it up. Hey, thanks for having me, brother. I'm nominated again, Best of the Bay. So I'll be putting the information out there. I appreciate your vote because remember, a vote for me is a vote for us, the evolution, because it gets me in a party. It lets me show you what's going on there. And at the end of the day, I'm damn well, I'm a better journalist than any else on the list. But thanks for having me. It's been great. And it's a long season. We got a ways to go. Let's just be excited. Let's see what the Rays can do tomorrow night versus these White Sox.
Yeah, it's early yet. All right, Tampa Bay Ray, appreciate the time as always here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend. All right?
Later, brother.
Later. All right, good stuff there. So we'll come back to the full shot as we a great night, a passionate night of sports talk, whether it's your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the reports of Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin possibly starting out on the PUP list. That's a report from Leo Haggerty. We had him on, so thanks for that. Of course, Harry the Greek, Louie from the Frozen Pyro podcast, and of course, Best of the Bay right there, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake, and do 3 things. We'll keep it down for the roommates. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And, of course, for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay Sports Fan, it's your time. We'll see you next time on Wednesday night on a Happy Hump Day edition of the Sports Web. As we always say here, go Bucs. And, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. As always, have a great night, and hopefully the Rays can pull off some wins here and the Bucs can get healthy.